Full Wednesday. Yours truly. Now I am here in Rosenberg, Texas. That's right. Just got out of my interview, which I think went pretty well. And I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and go to another nature park because I keep going to the same nature park all the time and decided to switch it up a little bit. So I'm going to go to a nature park that I haven't been to in probably over about a year and a half. A year and a half ago, I went to this beautiful place here, which is known as Seabourne Creek Nature Park, which is here located off of 36 and 59. It's not that far. We are here in Rosenberg, Texas. Rosenberg, Texas. So they got a lot of events out here. We got the information center here. You can grab a pamphlet. I'll show you guys the butterfly garden, beautiful butterfly garden, the actual Seabourne Lake. They have areas for bird watching and areas where you could just walk out and kind of check the feel for Mother Nature. So without further ado, I think I'm dressed to impress for this video. I think I am. I believe I am. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get it started. All right. So we are first at the information desk. This is the information center here. This gives you sort of a layout of the actual park. This is what you check out here. Welcome to Seabourne Creek Nature Park. And these are some of the birds that you'll be seeing, hopefully in today's video, maybe. I can't promise you that. But these are some of the birds here. And they got a bunch of volunteers right now fixing up the area. And look, we got a woodlands walking path. So I'm going to show you guys that as well. And the black-billed whistling ducks. Hopefully they'll be out today. And this is a 164-acre nature park. 164 acres. It was set aside as a place to just relax, enjoy the outdoors, and learn about the natural world. Early Texas settlers used this land for farming. And it was a barren cotton farm in 1993 when the city of Rosenberg acquired the property. 2009, Texas master naturalist joined with the city to create a natural park, almost in your own backyard. Birds and butterflies and other wildlife can be seen all over the park. They are attracted by the usual or unusual diversity of natural habitats here. A lake, 20-acre prairie, a woodland, and a large wetland pond. This combination of natural habitats and wildlife is rare in urban park and makes Seabourne Creek Nature Park a special place. Absolutely. And so extensive wetlands and woodlands and parks provide important nesting sites for birds and natural habitat to many other kinds of wildlife. Okay, very important. Learn about butterflies and how they attract to your garden. You got the migratory songbirds, such as this beautiful indigo button stop in Seabourne Creek woodlands on their long journey to nesting grounds in the northern forest. The yellow warbler. I never heard of that one. You'll never know what you might see in our woodland bird sanctuary. This is an excellent wildlife viewing area. The copper hawk, look at how beautiful he is. Smile for the camera. And the common buck-eyed butterfly. This right here is your layout of the actual Seabourne Park. The lake is right to the north of there. The butterfly park is there. I'm going to let you guys see the butterfly garden. This is where we're currently at here by the restroom, so we're facing in this direction here. We'll be walking up this way, giving you the tour of the lake and the butterfly garden, and the picnic area is all on this side here. This is where the walk-in loop is. It takes you 1 mile into the forest here. Prairie demo garden. You got the prairie out here. You got the wetlands loop, which is 1/3 of a mile. Goes into circular. You got the Beasley branch here is like a little cutoff. That's Highway 36 right there, the main highway. Seabourne Creek Bayou. And then, of course, right here, you got the woodlands area. We'll be going through that. You'll see the bird sanctuary, bird watching, and stuff like that. So we give you guys a grand tour of this whole area right here. And so what's I like personally about this park is, well, first of all, the entrance is pretty unique, right? This is what you first walk into when you see it. You're going to see the Seabourne Creek Nature Park. And right here, it's sort of like where you can grab a pamphlet. And I already have one, a copy. So you get the Sea Creek Nature Park self-guided and nature tour park maps, and they are free. And it kind of gives you just a list of, you know, sort of like the table of contents, if that's how you want to look at it. Butterfly garden, Seabourne Lake, arboretum, picnic area, nature plant garden, the prairie restoration area, and of course the wetlands pond. You're going to have woodlands in the sanctuary, and here's sort of another layout map of this. You can take this home with you, and so that's what makes that kind of unique, and it tells you exactly how long the trails are. And the longest one is a prairie path with a total of 1.20 miles, but if you probably take all these, you're probably looking at maybe a 5-mile walk. So we're going to go ahead and begin this hike here, right? It's nature park. So I'm going to actually grab a second one. All right, so let's go ahead and make our way down here. I mean, why not go ahead and tour the first? You got the volunteers right here. They're already making more additions to the park, which that's obviously a good thing, right? So let's go ahead first and take a look at the butterfly garden. I want you guys to see this. This is pretty good. All right. Thank you for the 5 viewers in here. Hopefully I don't bore you guys. I should be a tour guide. Maybe rent me as a tour guide. You know, maybe that'll be my new profession if the county doesn't work out. So this is your butterfly garden. This is where you'll see a lot of butterflies in the springtime, right? So look at the beautiful flowers they got here. Texas star Hiccabus right here, which is this plant right here. All right. And of course, what's unique about all this is they have the ability where you can actually walk in. Welcome to Seabourne Butterfly Garden. Monarch Way Station. Look at this butterfly garden in here. I want you guys to take a look at all this pretty cool stuff. Look at this. And of course, they got names for all this. This is an Indian blanket, is what they call these flowers here. Interesting. A late bone set. Let me see. This one's called the coral honey suckle, which are this right here. Interesting. Okay. And right here, you got the Texas Latania. You got the frog fruit, which is that over there. I don't know what that is, but a lot of unique plants. And they plant them all in here, obviously, and in the springtime, they're going to blossom even more. They got a bunch of other names in there, but of course, I don't want to step in there because, you know, that kind of would be rude for me to do so. I don't know what that plant's name is. Let's see. Gaura, guarana. But I don't know if it's that one or if it's this one in particular right here. But a bunch of unique plants, a beautiful garden they have set up here. Last time I was here, they were all dead because, of course, it was in the damn wintertime. It says if you watch closely, you might just see a butterfly laying her eggs. Hey, princess, how's it going, whoever you are? Female butterflies are very particular about where they lay their eggs. Searching high and low, they have to find certain species of the plant known as a host plant. The only plant that their newly hatched caterpillars can eat. If you want to attract these Texas butterflies to your yard, be sure to plant a few host plants such as these, and you'll be rewarded all summer long. So this is a monarch here. As you can see, that's a monarch. This is a giant swallowtail right here, which saw those earlier, believe it or not, and the Gulf frutily. And this is the host plant. These are the host plants for each butterfly right here. The host plant milkweed, host plant citrus, and host plant passion flower. So that's where these specific butterflies go towards, right? So they go towards these areas right here. And these people are doing a wonderful job trying to make that possible for these butterflies in the springtime and, of course, the summer. This is the Texas Lantana, same plant right here. This is the rock rose. This is pretty cool. They got a bunch of beautiful plants around here. Some of these I've never ever seen. These kind of look like lily pads right now. Lily pads. Look at that one. Let's go ahead and see what else we got here. Give me a minute. Can you guys hear me, by the way? I don't know if you guys can hear me or not, but native bees, common types of native bees. You got the bumblebee, you got the mason bee, the leaf cutter bees, the carpenter bees, the mining bees, and the sweet bees. Interesting. Okay. And let's go ahead and keep continuing to look around. Purple passion fruit. And what's cool is if you look at the designs on here, which I like this in particular. I just got married. Hey, congratulations. Look at this. Congratulations to you. I like the little designs they drew on there, especially with the sunflower there and a butterfly. You got the butterflies there. This is pretty unique, man. And look, they even got like a little thing where you can take books and stuff out of, like a library, you know. It's kind of a nice feel, nature's nursery kind of feel to it. Let's go ahead and go over here. All right, I didn't read this sector of it, but it says here, take a good look and see around you. What can you see? You are standing in a very special butterfly garden, which has been carefully designed to attract butterflies and other native Texas wildlife. Let's see, hold on. Compared to humans who give birth in a single event, butterfly goes through 4 fascinating stages before a new butterfly is born, known as the metamorphosis. Each stage is distinct. Isn't nature amazing? Adult, egg, caterpillar. All right, so it goes from adult. Look at it. That's an adult right there. It's egg, so they lay the eggs. It's a caterpillar. And then the caterpillar to a cryolysis, or whatever you want to call that. And then entering adulthood is right there. Well, I guess once they hatch. Wow. It's an amazing stages that it goes from. But anyways, this is a look at the butterfly garden, and I wanted you guys to kind of see this. I hope that I'm entertaining you so far. If I chase you off, I apologize. But like I said, I'm just doing a detour today through the lovely park. I'm not doing really anything in specific. Not doing anything in specific. The picnic areas are over here, but we're going to do a detour through Seabourne Lake. Somebody's alarm's going off, but it's not mine because I know how my alarm sounds. Give me a second. Oh, thanks, girl. What are you talking about, thanks, girl? Last time I checked, a man. God damn it. What you all thinking, woman? Come on now. I'll give you a pass for that. Seabourne Lake. All right, so this is Seabourne Lake right here. And this is like, I guess, the Seabourne Arboretum. Creating a sense of place. Just a few year volunteers have transformed the park into a tranquil nature oasis in the environment of all. They got a mature, the Seabourne Creek Nature Woodlands provides shelter to all kinds of birds and wildlife. So you guys are gonna, did you know over the years our Seabourne Creek volunteers have planted 13 different kinds of oaks in the park, including the bur oak, which has an enormous acorns. Okay, it's interesting to know. So this is Seabourne Lake right here, all right? So this is Seabourne Lake. Look at that. This is a beautiful side of the lake. Seabourne Lake right here. It goes all the way around in a huge circle. No net fishing permitted. Park is located. Reel in and recycle. That's good to know. This is a tour of the lake right here. I mean, the lake just goes in a big circle up here. Want you guys to see this. Of course you can go fishing over here. Of course. Yep, I'm off today, so I'll be, to have my interview today. So, yeah, the lake just goes in a big circle. So we're going to go ahead and catch the rest of the lake later. Right now, what I want to do is I want to tour through the woods real quick and let you guys take a look at that. And then from there, we'll catch everything else on the back end. They got bird watching areas where you go bird watching, all types of stuff, man. This is a really unique park to go to. I haven't been here in a year and a half. How's it going? Cute dog. He's a baby. A cute doggy. Man, they got cute dogs, man. I'm telling you, there's nothing worse than seeing a homeless dog that has no home. I run into those all the time. It breaks your heart because there's just so many animals, that you want to take in, but you just can't take them all, But you feel bad, The fish will spawn. I didn't know that. Well, right now it's going to be you know, the weather's supposed to kick up, so we're supposed to get like the springtime. And like I said, you'll start seeing a lot of butterflies coming out here and feeding off some of these plants. It says right here, I just passed a sign up, an amazing journey. Each year, millions of monarch butterflies take a unique 3,000-mile migration that is quite incredible, especially since each insect weighs less than a paperclip. Monarch butterflies stop at the Seabourne Creek Nature Park on their way to Mexico each fall. After overwintering in Mexico's Sierra Madrid Mountains, these amazing creatures fly north through Texas and stop here again to lay eggs on the milkweed plants in this native garden. When the next generation of caterpillars become butterflies, they leave us to continue their migration. It takes several more short-lived generations of monarchs to reach their northerly homes where they spend the summer months. No one knows how they find their way. It's one of nature's mysteries. Look for the monarch butterflies and their caterpillar in the butterfly garden each spring and fall. Thousands of monarch butterflies overwinter in high-altitude Mexican Oamal fir forest. And then it says that's the map right there, how they travel, believe it or not. I think that's pretty unique. In the summer, it looks like the Corn Belt. They go up north. In the summer and in the winter, they travel down to Mexico City. That's pretty fascinating, all the distance of miles that they travel. I thought that was pretty cool and unique to, you know, to know, because I didn't know that. It says monarch butterflies are in trouble. Their populations are in steep decline due to habitat loss and overuse of herbicides to control the milkweed. The plant they depend on, you can help by planting native milkweeds in your garden. So that's a fun fact, I guess. And we're going to go ahead and take a detour through the park. So I want to show you guys a little bit more of what the park has to offer, and we'll go from there. Like I said, last time I was here, I want to say maybe about a year and a half ago, and I went and detoured through the through the area, and but there was hardly anything because it was during the winter. I think I went like in November or December of 2022, and there really wasn't anything to see because everything was dead, and I went during the winter, so it was like a bad time to go. Now the spring is coming, and maybe I could have waited another 3 weeks, but I just said, well, there's probably got to be something out here, already something started, because spring is officially starting, the winter's officially leaving, and there has to be something out here. So I'm going to go ahead and tour through the actual, let me kind of give you like the nature walk side of things. It's further over there where you see a lot of those large trees over there. So that's where we're going to go to next, And like I said, I haven't been to this park in a year and a half. Maybe about a year and a half, give or take. So like I said, I was in the area anyway because I had an interview today for the county, and I was like, well, it's only like 5 miles down the road. Why not just go ahead and take a tour through here and see they got like a little like area where you can see what you're walking into. The bird sanctuaries and the wetlands loop are this way. The native plant garden and the prairie restoration is this way to the left. So it gives you kind of like a sense of where everything's at. So we're going to go ahead and tour through here first because it loops around in one huge circle. So we're going to go ahead and go this way. And yes, this video might be long, but I worked on a fish farm. Seems like fish spawns close to the springtime after it warms up, kind of cold. Garden seasons are getting close. Absolutely, man. Like I said, I would encourage people, if you don't do this kind of stuff, it's kind of fun to do it. Even if like you do it with your family, friends, or significant other or somebody, it's kind of fun to go to these little nature parks and get kind of a feel for everything, and kind of gives you that good old outdoors sort of feel to it. And I guess we're going to make a left here, and I'm going to show you guys the bird sanctuary and the wetlands loop. So this is going to be unique. And yes, I am going to keep this video up, so that's good, right? Any sort of nature parks that I'm going to, and I'm doing tours and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys see that firsthand. I'm going to make sure to keep this video up after this video's complete. Probably maybe an hour and a half, I don't know. Usually that's typically how long my videos are, but this in peculiar is just going to be just just a tour through the park and just kind of show you around, everything like that. But if you have family out here, you live in Richmond, Rosenberg area, and this is a good place to go to, So this area is probably like 15 miles from me. So it's not that far of a drive, from Missouri City. So it's not like you're driving like, an arm and a leg or anything like that. Not going to cost you much in gas. So if you want to get out of the house and you want to kind of get a feel for Mother Nature, I've been doing these nature walks for probably about 4 years now, since COVID. Because I was all like, depressed and panicking and stuff. And I just got, just was all stressed out. You know what I'm saying? And I just, wanted to just see. There's two different walkways here. This one takes you through like a bridge, and you can go through like the prairie area. I think that's the wetlands boardwalk, and the bird sanctuary straight ahead. So I'm gonna go straight ahead first to the bird sanctuary. I'm probably just gonna make one big circle here, so that way you guys can kind of see both, right? So let's go ahead and go to the bird sanctuary first. Oh, you worked on a fish farm? That's really cool, man. Closer to springtime. That's what's up, man. Okay, let's go to the bird sanctuary. Let's start off there, okay? So, yeah, I finished my interview. Hopefully everything goes by well. Hopefully I get hired. It was me and 2 other girls, believe it or not, they interviewed. So they said they're short guards like bad. They were telling me they were short like 80 guards. I'm like, damn. So, wow. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Keep my fingers crossed that I get hired. And they said it could take another month or 2, because of the slow process. The HR said, okay. They just said, just stay on it. Call like in a week or 2 if you haven't heard from us. I said, okay. And then next they do your mental evaluation. They do your polygraph. And that's it. And that's it. And then after that, they, then they call and make you an offer and then go from there. Okay, check this out. Now it even divides even more. So you're going to have the bird sanctuary, which is straight ahead. You're going to have your wetlands loop, which is to the left. We're going to go ahead and continue going straight here to the bird sanctuary. I want you guys to kind of check this out. It's been a while since I've been here. So again, you're going to have to be patient with me as I go through this walk. If I'm boring many of you, I understand, you got to have patience for these kind of types of videos. But, I just, for those of you who are interested in Mother Nature, why not go ahead and check this out? This is feel good. Okay, so now I feel like I'm walking into a forest, and I always love these kind of parts of the trails because you feel like you're kind of walking into a forest area, which technically I kind of am, right? Let's go ahead and walk a little further and see what's going on here. Like I said, if you guys leave, I totally understand, and you can always come back and watch it later. If you don't have I understand people have a short attention span, right? I get it. I have a short attention span too. Sometimes I can watch a live for 5-10 minutes, and I get tuned off, and I'm like, I don't want to watch it. Oh, well, here goes our first. Yeah, it does. Dizzy Fred, I agree, 100%. Right here, we got a bird watcher feed up here. Look, there's a stand right here. Maybe there'll be a walkway for it on the back end, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and walk out here. And you could tell it rained. It must have rained either this morning or yesterday. It's still a little wet, but that's okay. I'm not anticipating it's not going to be wet. It said, why are the birds important? Well, I would love to sit and read it, but look what I have to walk into. He's the cutest little boy. He's a baby. He's a boy. He's a baby. It's okay. I got a Chihuahua just like that at the house. You're okay. He's a little boy. Oh, here goes the bird watcher. I want you guys to see this. Yeah. And this really takes us to the other side too, which is that big long bridge that I passed up on. But right here, if you go inside of here, I want you guys to check this out. Check this out. Seabourne Bird Sanctuary. So you would sit right along here. You could either sit here, or you can sit on this other side here. And look, you can sit and watch the birds feed. Obviously today's just not one of those days, right? Because it just rained, right? So the birds are probably not going to be out here most likely to feed. But closer as the spring hits and the summer hits, you're going to see a little bit more. Obviously, they have this sort of fenced off with the logwood fence and a little bit of this copper wire fencing they got right here. It's not electric, hopefully. I don't think it is. But yeah, the birds feed here. That keeps the coyotes and the bobcats out. You don't have to worry about them getting over it. Although coyotes and bobcats can still kind of hop over it, but the birds have no worries about it. But if you have any ground animals, yeah, they'll tear those things up, man. So that's why sometimes farmers have to put electric fencing up to keep the coyotes out and bobcats out, because they can still tear up a dog or a cat or whatever if they get past your property. Here goes Seabourne Creek Nature Park. Why are birds important? Did you know a bird's eye takes up to 50% of its head, whereas our eyes take up just 5% of our head? We need to have eyes the size of baseballs to see as well as birds. Birds are pollinators. Nectar-feeding birds, such as the hummingbirds, orioles, and tanglers, are important pollinators. They move pollen from flower to flower and help fertilize the seeds that will become new plants. Birds help keep nature systems in balance. Birds are an important part of the food chain. Some eat seed while others eat insects, mammals, and invertebrates. In turn, birds and their eggs provide food for other animals. Birds give us joy and inspire us. We have an incredible diversity of beautiful birds in our local area, and their presence provides us with pleasure, joy, and spiritual inspiration. Look around. What color birds do you see? How do they get their beaks to eat and their feet to perch? Put up a bird feeder at home and sit back and watch who comes to visit. And we do have a bird feeder. We attract hummingbirds, mockingbirds. We've gotten cardinals. We've gotten blue jays. We've gotten regular birds like those blackbirds or whatever they call them. Here goes a bird's paradise. Here's something you guys might like. This one's a birder's paradise. Birders have seen nearly 200 species of birds here. Isn't that amazing? Seabourne Creek Nature Park lies on the North America's most important bird migration routes, known as the Central Pathway. The park's woodlands, wetlands, and prairies make this a wonderful birding site. Here are some of the most common birds. To be sure not to forget your binoculars. You've got the woodlands birds. These are some of the smaller birds here. You got the tuffled titmouse, northern cardinal, which I've seen those in my backyard. The Carolina wren, I've seen that one. Ruby-crowned kinglet. You got the northern mockingbird, and of course the red-billed woodpecker. For this one, the wetlands birds, you got the snowy egret. You got the double crescent cormorant, the great blue heron, the black-billed whistling duck, which I saw those earlier, the black-necked stilt, and the roseate spoonbill. It kind of looks like flamingos, kind of, if that makes sense. Closest thing I would say. Then you got the prairie birds, which are the eastern meadowlark, northern harrier, winter resident, loggerhead shrike, Savannah sparrow, the red-tailed hawk, and American kestrel. The red-tailed hawks, thing I don't like about them is they tend to fly over your trees, and they'll swoop down and attack anything that's very small, and that in that nature. They do attack, and they will attack like smaller birds. If you have a kitten, sometimes it'll attack that as well if it sees it, especially if it's a big red-tailed hawk that you're dealing with. You're going to deal with those red-tailed hawks, so you got to be very careful. And red-tailed hawks also attack smaller birds, which are many of those smaller birds right there would be eaten up by those red-tailed hawks. They'll come swoop down and grab them, and they'll take off with your damn with like if you have a small kitten or something, that red-tailed hawk will sense it from the sky or from the tree line, and it'll zoom in, and it'll swoop down and take your kitten if it's small enough for it to grab, and it'll kill it. That's why you got to be very careful when you let your animals outside, especially if it's a bobcat, a coyote, or if it's a red-tailed hawk laying out there. They'll swoop by and they'll kill anything small enough that they can take out. This is a nice wooden deck here. Obviously some of the wood's rotten, but it's not a big deal. I think actually it gives more of a feel for the walkthrough of the park when you walk through this type of wood decking out here. I think it's really nice and unique. Look at that. Beautiful. There's obviously there's a bird over there. I don't know what it is, but it's far, far over there in that corner area over there. Always grow sunflowers for birds to have food. Nice. Nice. Are you Dizzy Fred, are you a first-time subscriber or what? At least you find entertainment out of this. You know, most people, they don't like this kind of stuff. But, you know, I'm into it. You know, it's something, it's acquired. You know, it's something that, it's more to me therapeutic. I get like a sense of therapeutic to learn about Mother Nature more than anything. You know, worst thing is to not learn. As you get older, it's very important that you keep learning because, you know, then your brain cells tend to die off, and you know how that can get. That can make it very worse for you, right? You know, especially if you got dementia in your family. If that runs in the family, yeah, then you can definitely carry that. Springtime in the fresh rejuvenation of the nature to give pollen to the bees. Yep. Like I said, I enjoy this kind of stuff, man. I enjoy these types of nature walks. The only thing is I wish I could find, you know, people that are into this kind of stuff that wouldn't mind joining me on this. Most people, they're not really into this kind of stuff. So it's something that you have to kind of, you have to kind of see for yourself, you know. How did the interview go with the county? Oh, it went by well. Like I said, I might have to wait a week or two. If I don't hear back from them, then I got to call them and, you know, do the psych evaluation polygraph test. And then from there, you know, it's a process, you know. It's a process, so it takes time, right? Like anything. And, you know, we just have to go from there, man. They said that you might have to work nights, or you might have to work I think afternoons or something, because it's like a seniority thing. So I told them that's fine. It's no big deal. You know, I'm all for it. And I'm in. Not that hard. The only thing is you have to learn like the east wing, the west wing, and all the floors and stuff and what they are. Because you can get lost and it can be very confusing in there. So I got to learn all that. But he said it took him 5 months to learn all of it. So he said, listen, you know, I'm not expecting you guys to learn it in 2 days. You know, it's going to take a while. So he said it took me 5 months. I said, holy shit. So that's where they get you through the training and stuff. And I said, how many guards are you short? He said, 80. I'm like, holy shit. He said, yeah, I know. He said, I wish HR didn't take as long as they did to hire people. Because we only had 3 people doing the interview. And one girl didn't even sit with us. She left. Because she said, I've already done this before last year. I don't want to do the tour. I'm like, all right, well, I had to do it because I didn't get a tour of the place. So it was me and this other girl that did the tour. She was real nice. Her name was Taylor. Real cool. And we exchanged numbers because that way, you know, we give each other the heads up if somebody gets the call or not, right? And somebody else doesn't say, hey, they called me. They told me to be here at this time, you know, like this, you know, kind of like keep tabs, you know. And she drove all the way from Spring, Texas. That's far. That's going towards the Woodlands. And you're driving from the Woodlands to Rosenberg? That's a far drive. Like for me, it's 15 miles. For her, probably like 40 or 50. And you're driving there and back. I told her that's a long drive. I told her you better off just applying for Harris County and going to Harris County and being a corrections officer. You know, I told her it'd probably be a lot better instead of driving to the county, Fort Bend County. Told her you're going to be driving, man, you're going to be eating your gas up every day. You're talking about 100 miles a day. You're eating up your gas. That's 500 a week. Oh my God, that's a lot of, man, that means like damn near about 80 bucks is going towards, and especially if gas is at $3 a gallon, you're looking at about $80 a week. I told her that's expensive, man. You know what I'm saying? That means $350 a month is coming out of your check just to cover gas. And then all the wear and tear miles on your car. Oh my God, 500 miles. Yeah, man, that's gonna, yeah, you have to think about that kind of stuff, man. Like it's only 15, it's about 13 miles from my house. So it's not too far, you know what I'm saying? But, all right, let's see where to go. I could walk out there, but no, I'm gonna walk this way. Seems like it's less muddy through here. Yeah, I have friends that had little kittens and they've been attacked by hawks and owls, like at the woods walking. I carved wooden trail sticks. Where are you from, Dizzy Fred? You don't mind me asking. But yeah, the customer, we leveled his house the other day. or 10 years ago. And then he referred us to his neighbor, and we gave her 2 different prices on leveling and raising it 24 inches, because she lives right in front of the Brazos River on 5-acre property. And so of course, you know, the county's calling for a 24-inch lift on her house. She's on stilts and on blocks, but her property has like 2 add-ons, and it goes 104 feet on both sides. Like, I've never seen a house that big on stilts, unless you're like at a beach house or something in the, you know, off of the Trinity River or something, or Texas City, or you're over there, you know, towards Galveston. You know, like, those are big beach houses on stilts, basically. I told her I've never seen a house this big on stilts that's not by the ocean. You know what I'm saying? That's not by Galveston or one of the big rivers, you know? I said, she said, yeah, I know, but it floods back here real bad. So she told me I gotta get it raised at least, you know, 24 inches, which is basically 2 feet. So we had to give her a price for that. But she has a beautiful fucking home, beautiful property. It looks like the Death Star. It said, this house looks like a damn spaceship. It was huge. And she said, thank you. I said, it's got that y'all guys ever seen that movie Secret Widow with Johnny Depp? It's got that feel to it, where, you know, he was an Arthur Ryder, but he was a serial killer, and he was living in that house, like out in the county. I said, off the countryside. I said, that's what this house kind of reminded me of. It has like a Arthur's Ryder's feel to it. She said, thank you. So yeah, she has a beautiful fucking property, beautiful property. I'm gonna walk this way. Mushroom season. They have grew in my state of Arkansas. Cool, man. Okay, so you must be new to my channel then. Arkansas is a beautiful state, man. I've always wanted to go visit it. Like I said, we're walking past the bridge right now. Like I said, I plan on going to more parks. I've been in Texas alone, Dallas and Houston. I've probably been over 80 different nature parks in the Dallas-Houston area. I haven't gone to if you go towards San Antonio, that's where you go to all the underground bat caves. They have a bunch of underground bat caves, and those bats travel all the way down from the north to the south to hibernate for the winter. So they'll travel to San Antonio, where it's a lot warmer climate. Here goes the wetlands right here. The wetlands water, do not drink algene, Wikipedia. Do not drink reclaimed water. What the fuck does that mean? No offense, excuse my French, but reclaimed water, do not drink. What the fuck does that mean? Why would I drink reclaimed water? Whatever that means. Let's go ahead and walk up here and see what's up here, and then I'll continue my way down the pathway again and see what else is in here. There obviously has got to be a water restoration area over here, and there is a couple of them out here. Like I said, I'm just walking up here. Whew, man, I got a little workout going up here. Man, I forgot about this area. But I'm going to continue walking out here. Let's see. Yeah, there's a little like pond area or something out here. So, I mean, it's obviously not that big, but a little pond area out here. God knows how far this trail takes you. I think it should take you in one gigantic circle. So I don't know. I'm gonna walk out here. I feel like I'm marching along the lines of some pre-Civil War battle, and I'm ready to march and see the cannon fire coming my way. You know, kind of feel that way if you're in the Civil War, like I am, which is a big thing that I like. I love American history. You know. Let's go ahead and. You guys should see a video that I did. I went to the Varner Hog plantation. The video came out in 2016. I got like 50,000 views on that video. And touring through the, through the plantation. It's huge, like a big, huge mansion, man. I mean, obviously this trail takes you out all the way out here, but I don't remember a pathway out here. This has got to be the long way. It has to be. Which, if it is, I'm probably going to turn back around, because I wanted to get the other side where they had the plants and stuff at. They had more plant areas, which I'm guessing it must go in a circle out here somewhere. I'm thinking it just probably takes me in a big circle back that way. I'm guessing. Let's go ahead and walk further out. A lot of those birds, man. You hear it? Those are baby birds. They might be hummingbirds. You hear them? Those big ones are the soda cans. Damn, I didn't know that. There's a lot of birds in here. Saw a big gigantic blue one just fly out of here. That might be a blue jay, but I could be wrong. But yeah, this obviously takes you around. There are some butterflies flying around. I can see them. Yeah, after this, it's going to take me in a big detour all the way around. So I'm just going to go ahead and just take a circle around it real quick. And then we'll go and I'll show you guys around the other side of the park, which is pretty cool, man. I like the butterfly garden they're setting it up. And all the beautiful flowers that are growing out here, man. This is really cool, man. This is... See, it says reclaim water, do not drink. If anybody's in the comment section, can you tell me what they're talking about? It says reclaim water. I do not know what that means, but I'm interested. I want to learn what that means, you know. Well, in San Antonio, they got underground caves. They have one called the Natural Bridge Caverns. It's one of the biggest underground caves, and it goes hundreds of feet in the ground. So if you guys are claustrophobic, yeah, it's going to scare the shit out of you. I went there when I was a kid. And I can still remember it too. There's one part where these rock formations, they're like sticking out, and it's got like a little area where you walk across. It's like a little bridge, and the rocks stick out right on it, right? And it tells you, do not lean on it, because if you lean on it, you'll fall right off that damn thing. And I'll tell you, if you are afraid of that type of stuff, and you're holding on to that damn rock, some of them stick out, so you're kind of bending at a certain degree, where you're almost like bending backwards towards the guardrail, and you're like, oh shit, so you have to hold on for dear life. Oh, I was freaking scared. They might have done some improvements and additions, but if you look down, it's nothing but black. It's like a big giant hole, and you don't know how far that damn thing goes down there. And I remember crying. I was holding on to my mom. I was crying. I was like 8 years old, 9 years old, crying. I was like, man, it was an experience. Now, I could probably do it now because I'm an adult, but it would still be a scary experience for me to be in, because I'm claustrophobic. And then when I look down, I feel like I'm falling. So it's like, in my anxiety, I'll start panicking. But it's something I actually want to do because I want to get over that fear. You know, so if you're claustrophobic or whatever, or you don't like being in closed spaces, oh my God, when you cross that bridge, it's the rocks that are on the side of it. They say, hold on to the rocks. And you have to hold on to the rocks for dear life. Like, I don't want to fall off of it. You know? Okay. This is a unique tree. Too bad they don't have a plaque or something to say what it is. I'm scared of caves. Oh, yeah. You go up around old historical places. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, if you're a new subscriber, Dizzle, I appreciate that. A lot of my videos are on private right now. When it comes to other videos that are controversial, I had to put those to private for the reason why, because I'm applying for this job. And yeah, so I have to do that when it comes to political videos. In fact, I might have to have another channel where I have to put those specific videos on and keep my food reviews and nature walk hikes and all those peaceful videos on this specific channel. And then everything controversial is going to go on a separate channel that's going to be separated from that. So if you want to go and check out those videos, you're going to have to subscribe to my other channel once I get that up and running. Because in that way I can start moving videos around, deleting videos I don't need, stuff like that, and moving on in that sort of direction. It's springtime, so I want to start getting the hiking and traveling videos up around Texas. I plan on going to Austin. They have a bunch of zip lining and underground cave in there, especially towards San Antonio, San Marcos area. And I plan on doing underground caving, you know, traveling underground. And I think it'll be something kind of cool, actually. It's something I want to do. So I want to get that up and running, and you know, I want to start doing these hiking videos, man. I want to start going to dozens of parks. See, they got restoration water right here. So I'm assuming it says do not drink, restore water. And look, they do got a thing out here that's pumping that water out. See? Yeah. So that's what they were talking about. All right, so we're going to go ahead and continue down here, which I think just really just took us back. I think so. Yeah, because look, I'm coming out of here and I saw that truck earlier, so it had to have taken me in a circle right here. I know I'm gonna probably make a right. Yeah, I'm gonna make a right this time. Okay. There's a bird watcher over here. Look, right over there. People say they get bored of these videos. No, I'm excited for it, Marvin. I'm excited. I like these types of videos. All right, so we're gonna make a right here and we're gonna go further down this way. Yeah, we're gonna go down this way. Yeah, because this takes us to the bridge here. And I don't know if you're allowed to fish out here, but probably not going to catch much anyway. Oh man, I love this park. You know, it's something new. I didn't know butterflies travel to the north for the summer, and during the winter they travel all the way down to Mexico City. I thought that was fascinating. That I did not know. From mining or maybe oil drilling. Oh, okay. And it's possible, yeah. Now, what I like in particular about this set in here, you got the wood fence in here, right? Sorry, it gives a Civil War look to it, right? Soldiers jumping over the fence and stuff, right? Handing the guns to each other. Scene of Gettysburg. And look at these beautiful flowers they got here. All different types. Daisies. Maybe some lilies. I think those are sunflowers right there. Sunflowers over there on the other side. Man, I'm telling you, this is beautiful here. And beautiful scene here. They even got a trash bag there, so you don't have to throw trash. And over here, look, they got an area where you can sit. Nice bench area where you can sit at. And you can kind of rest your arms here. Put your drink right here, food. You can put them right here. And you can take a look on the outside right here. Just kind of get a view for it. You can use your binoculars and see what birds are out here and that sort of feel to it. Or if you want to get a closer look, you can always just step right out into here. This is called the Seabourne Wetlands. This is it right here. So you can step right into here. It said, okay, so let's go ahead and read about the bees. Why are the wetlands important? Did you know over 40% of the world's amphibians are threatened with extinction? You can help by supporting wetlands conservation efforts. Wetlands reduce the destructive effects of flooding, the stored flood water during storms, which reduce both downstream flood damage and risk of flash flooding. Wetlands can help clean our water. They act as natural water purifiers by filtering out sediment and absorbing pollutants. Wetlands are home to many kinds of wildlife. Many kinds of amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals are adapted to live in the wetlands. Wetlands are also important as a stop in the place of birds during their migration. Then you got wetlands are beautiful places to enjoy the outdoors. They're special places for hiking, fishing, hunting, and bird watching, or just wonderful places to relax and enjoy nature. And you can also scan this too, and it'll also, give you a little bit more, to look into. Did you know that frogs and toads have their own special calls? Males croak to attract females, and the louder they croak, the more likely they're to attract a mate. Can you hear any frogs or toads near the wetlands today? I've always wondered that when the frogs start croaking, now I know why. It was a mating call. Oh yeah. Fascinating how animals mate compared to humans. It's a lot different. They have a different way of how they conduct it. So it gives you a way out here, so that's good. It says alligators and snakes in the area. Stay away from the water. Do not feed the wildlife. Has a sign on here specifically for that. So there are alligators in here, and there are snakes as well. Heard something real loud. Imagine falling in the water and you swam in the center and a bunch of alligators just swarm around you. Man, that'd probably be a scary death. Right, just have a bunch of alligators. I wonder how big they get out here. Maybe 4 feet, 6 feet alligators. Not nothing like Lake Placid, right? Lake Placid. Y'all ever seen that movie? Good movie, by the way. Lake Placid, those alligators are huge, like prehistoric. You know they say alligators are prehistoric. You know that, right? All right, it says reclaim water, do not drink. Okay, obviously we've seen that sign before. So let's go ahead and see what's out here. This is called the Seabourne Prairie. So now we're gonna go to the Seabourne Prairie. All right, so let's go there. Let's go here. All right, so we got the Seabourne Prairie next. Obviously spring probably could hit maybe 3 weeks later. Let's go ahead and read one of the signs it has there. So we'll go and read that real quick. Then we'll take a tour in the Seabourne Prairie, which obviously spring needs to hit, so that way area can grow more. Native prairies, restoring a special place. Native prairies are special places where hundreds of varieties of grasses and other plants grow. The high natural diversity, in turn, supports all kinds of birds, animals, and insects that depend on the prairie for food and shelter. Unfortunately, many damaging plants and animals have been introduced to North America, such as the Chinese tallow, Johnson grass, and feral hogs. Scientists call these plants and animals invasive species, and they do not belong here. They crowd out beneficial species and are not suitable for our native wildlife. The Chinese tallow tree and the feral hog, which are right here. I think there's an overpopulation of alligators. I just don't like them. They just like to bite. I buy duck stamp every year. I don't hunt ducks. Oh, so yeah, hogs tear up the wildlife, and Chinese tallow tree, I don't know if it kills neighboring plants. That's probably what it does. A wildlife haven, you got the giant swallowtail and the scissortail flycatcher. Making a difference. Seabourne Park volunteers restoring 20 acres native prairie. We're trying to gradually eliminate non-native plants with the careful use of herbicide, carefully controlled fires known as prescribed burns, and by planting native seedlings into the prairie. So volunteers planting out native seedlings. So they do set out like little fires, a prescribed burn on the prairie. Don't know what that means, but okay. I'll have to look that up, a prescribed burning. Interesting. All right, we'll check out the Seabourne Prairie real quick. Let's go ahead and take a walk, all right? I still got my interview outfit on. Check it out. This is where I went to the county in today. So see, I got my dress shoes, shirt, nice button up, button down, and of course pants with a belt, with a nice belt. And that was my interview outfit. So hopefully I get the job at the county. It takes a long process to do so. And look, they got tags here for everything. This one right here is called the Rosenberg weed, right here. Yellow wind indigo. See, they got different names for different things here. I don't know if I'm allowed to walk in here. I think these are walking trails here. Texas golden top right here. Let's see, this plant right here is called the little blue stem right here, but obviously spring is not around yet. So they got an Indian plantain. Check this out, Indian plantain right there. Beautiful, ain't she? The swamp sunflower, which obviously that's a picture of the sunflower, but obviously hasn't grown. Because, like, again, we're still probably weeks away from actual spring. Some of the plants grow, some don't. The maximum sunflower, which is supposed to be right there. Okay, let's see what's over here real quick. This is called the guara, G-A-U-R-A. And obviously they go further out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk out here real quick, see what else is out here. Take a walk. Again, I'm not anticipating anybody's going to stay on for a long time, you know, an hour and a half. You're my only guest so far, Dizzle Fred, so I appreciate it. So at least I'm entertaining at least one person, and then the rest of people, they'll probably go watch it later. So you have to really be into this kind of stuff. Like I said, you know, most of my subscribers, they like the drama content and stuff that I talk about, political videos. That's where mainly I get my most content. But sometimes it's always good to kind of get away from all that. Obviously, they got the flags here, which indicate some sort of walkway path. So, and obviously they got the irrigating system right there where they're going to irrigate this area. Probably start replanting some plants out here and get this thing going. Like I said, I think in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you know, it'll be a different scenario. You'll see all these growing over here. So you'll see a lot of that. Some of these plants obviously have already grown. That's good, right? Let's go ahead and go out here. There was a sign over there I wanted to read, but I didn't see it yet. So let me go ahead and go over there. Because all these like little like signs they have, it gives you interesting facts about the amphibians, the mammals, and all that shit. So you gotta start looking at all that stuff. This trail just takes you all the way in just one big circle, kind of a detour, like the layout of the area. So we're gonna go ahead and read this sign over here. Yeah, they got volunteers out here right now planting the plants in the front of the area by the butterfly area. So they're trying to get prepared for the spring. You know, that's when you're gonna start seeing everything growing out here. It's gonna look like the Amazon forest, man. You know, that's the best time to go hiking, is the start of spring, like probably like going towards the end of March. All right, so let's go ahead and read this next. Make sure there's no ant piles below here. Why should we protect our native prairies? Did you know some of the native prairies grasses can grow up to 10 feet tall and have roots that extend down to 12 feet? That is as big as a 2-story house. Prairies are more diverse than Amazon rainforest. There can be as many as 30 different plants and animal species per 1 square meter of space in a native prairie. Prairies are drought resistant. Prairies have been called upside down forests because they are such deep roots. These deep roots make them drought resistant and well adapted to climate change. Prairies protect from flooding. Prairie grasses have fibrous roots which slow down and absorb floodwaters. They also help reduce soil erosion. Prairie stores carbon. Our native grasses store carbon and help reduce the impact of climate change. Walk through the prairie trails and look closely at the plants. Do you see insects, butterflies, and bees that are visiting the grasses or flowers? How many are different living things can you count? Do the same at home in your yard. Which has more living things? That's a pretty fascinating way to look at it. And so I went and looked out here. Let's see. I could go this way, but I might go through here. I think it cuts kind of in half. So let's just go ahead and walk in the center. Last time I didn't walk in the center here, I remember that. I would like to see the nature places from all around the world. I wish I could walk as far as you. 63 years old, not a spring chicken. I understand. You know, like I said, I just like to get out and get the, I don't know, what kind of flowers are these, if you guys want to answer that? I don't know what kind of flowers are these, but they are beautiful, whatever they are. They're not sunflowers, but look at these vines on them. Look at that. I've never seen anything like this. I don't know what that is. If somebody wants to answer that. See, look at it. Look at the side view of this plant here. It's got like, it looks like giant stickers sticking out of it. Never seen anything like this. But it's unique. It's beautiful, beautiful. But I don't know what it is. Anybody knows what this is? Let me know. Like I said, I'm just getting my walkthrough on, man. I'm telling you. Like I said, you know, health is very important, man. As you get older, it's, you know, your health goes against you. If you've been, like me, I didn't care about my cholesterol. I didn't care about my endurance. I didn't care about my respiratory. I didn't care about what I ate. And all that stuff, I'm getting, you know, I'm still a young guy, but I'm getting, my age is getting up. I'm gaining another year to my life every year. Even though I'm still a young guy, but it's just the principle, the manner. It's just, you know, health is very important. A lot of people just kick, you know, around people my age, they just kick dirt to the sand, don't give a fuck. You know, fuck cholesterol, I don't care, but it affects you later in life. It affects you later in life. Especially, like, for example, you might kick dirt to the sand in your 20s and 30s. But later in life after that, shit, it'll start affecting you one by one. And it does, and as the years go by, it gets worse and worse. That's why it's very important to get some sort of cardio in and some sort of, you know, kinetic movement going. Get the heart pumping and stuff, you know, and try, if you can, try to eat healthy sometimes, if you can. I'm not saying you can do it all day, every day, but just, you know, the idea is you want to have some consistency. And if you have a fall off day here or there, you sort of get back on the horse and do it again. It's the same thing when you're battling with addiction. You know, it's just sort of the same analogy, you know. Let's see, let's go down this way in the center. And what I want to do is I want to read that sign over there and see what it says. But yeah, when the springtime hits, you'll see all this out, grown out, all this. And whatever this beautiful plant is, I'm kind of seeing it a lot more often. You know, I don't know what it is. If somebody wants to answer that for me, I don't know what that is. You know, like I said, it's just rain the other day, so of course it's, you know, not the nice presentable look. But I think maybe in 2 weeks, you know, it'll probably, I might give another detour through it. Hopefully this time it'll be a lot better. I'll detour it first, and then if it's worth filming, I'll film it. you know, something like that. Like I said, I need to get my endurance going. It's very important, actually. Got to get your endurance going. Health is very important. A lot of people don't really think about it like that, but it's one thing if you have, let's say, diabetes, and then, you know, you kind of treat it, but then if you let it go haywire, then the artery gives out, you lose a leg, you lose 2 legs, and it can get really bad. You know, it can be very uncomfortable and very bad. That's why if you can try to reverse it, try. You know, diabetes runs in my family, cancer, all, you know, cataracts, all types of shit, man. And it's just like, it's hereditary. So if somebody catching your family, like, you know, mother, grandmother, grandfather, it could pass down to you. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't think of it like that. You know, it can pass down. Here's another butterfly garden in here, but what we're going to do is I'm going to read some of this stuff over here, and then I'm going to turn around. And there's, of course, a bunch of bird feeders out here too, mini ones, mini bird feeders. But let's go ahead and read this one right here. I still get out and explore just slower a little. It's okay, you know. What is a mymel or a pimple mound? They are low, rounded mounds scattered throughout the prairie. They are referred to by geologists as pimple or mymel mounds. Mymel sounds like a dime. Mounds range in size from 10 to 50 feet in diameter and from 2 to 6 feet tall. Current theory is that these mounds were built by burrowing mammals like gophers over hundreds of years ago. These primary coastal prairie soils is clay and tends to flood often, so burrowing animals seek higher ground to keep from drowning. By burrowing on these slightly higher spots, they push the soil evacuated up, add in pebbles, dead plants, or composite material to each mound over many generations. Mature mounds can be 500 to 700 years old, built by hundreds of generations of mammals. Wow. Soils on the mounds are coarser and well drained than between the mound areas, providing a microhabitat variation, meaning what grows up on the top of the mound might not grow on the bottom. If you see these mounds, it means the land has not been plowed. Interesting. Wow. That's kind of an interesting, you know, thing to learn about. I'm constantly learning about Mother Nature. I think hummingbirds come from Mexico and migrate. Yeah, I think so. The coastal prairies then, history. Here's the coastal plains then. Prairie potholes in the winter in Matagorda, which is Matagorda Bay County. They raised mounds in the center of the Pimple Mound. History. While the early pioneers called the coastal prairies flat, they were not flat like a pancake. The prairies were filled with features called mima or pimple mounds of the prairie potholes. I think I read this, but are small knots, knolls, while prairie potholes are depressions and could fill with water. Because of the prairie's potholes and the underlying clay soil, our coastal prairies are wet, unlike the Midwestern prairies. After passing through the forest, I had my first view of the Texas prairie, an unbroken level grassy plain extended for miles before us, on which a few islands of the trees and shrubs were scattered in an irregular order. Dr. Fernand Ramier, near LaPorte, Texas, January 1846, from Rosenberg, Texas. So this guy made this is what he said back in January of 1846. You're talking about post-Civil War. You're talking about during the Texas Revolutionary War. This is how old this photo is in Matagorda Bay. That is fascinating. These grasslands were home to hundreds of plant species, including little blue stem, Indian grass, blazing star, and goldenrod. This blanket of grasses and flowers provided an important habitat for the diverse set of wildlife, such as birds, butterflies, coyotes, buffalo and deer, snakes, raccoons, and mice. Like I said, when you miss these little signs right here, they give you hints and clues as to the universe, as to the world. So that's why I don't want to miss them, right? The coastal prairies then. This is Houston, right? So this is the map of Houston right here. This is Beaumont, Lake Charles, Freeport, Galveston right here, San Antonio, Austin, Corpus Christi, Kingsville, Brownsville. This is a map of southern Texas, Louisiana, historical range of coastal prairie ecosystem. History. The coastal prairie is located along the western Gulf Coast of the United States, southwest Louisiana, southeast Texas, just inland from the coastal marsh This coastal prairie is tall grass prairie, similar in many ways to the tall grass prairies of the Midwestern United States. It is established that pre-settlement times there were 9 million areas of the coastal prairie, 2.5 million in Louisiana and 6.5 in Texas. The next day, leaving Lynchburg, going to east, we traversed a broad and beautiful prairie where we could perceive no sign of a path, and where for miles there was not a tree to be seen unless at a great distance. Unknown traveler, written in 1831 from the explorers Texas, the lands and waters. So we don't even know who this guy was that wrote this, but obviously he left this. They found this note. And this was written in 1831. So you're talking about actually 15 years prior to 1846. So this is pretty fascinating. Historical range of the coastal prairie coastal prairie ecosystem, Houston area right here. And so this is where Seabourne Nature Park is. This is where I'm currently at on the map right there. This is the coastal prairie right here. So this is when James Hall, an early pioneer, first came to his area in the 1830s. He wrote, "In the low, wet prairies, the central or main stem of the grass, which bears the seed, acquires great thickness and shoots up to the height of the 8 or 9 feet, and traveler often finds it higher than his head, and he rides through it on horseback." Okay. Now let's go ahead and read this last one. Then I'm gonna swing around and read this one, and then we're gonna make our way towards the next butterfly area. I think that's a butterfly little restoration thing. All right, so this looks like a buffalo or bison. It says the history: before the arrivals of the explorers and European settlers to this area, Native Americans lived on the prairie and had little impact on the land. Prairie fires ignited by lightning or Native American kept the prairie in pristine condition. Grazing pressure provided by the bison helped to keep the prairie grassy healthy. There's the bison right there, right? So that's the bison right there. I think that's some untouched soil. I think so. It says the system was balanced. Coastal tall grass prairies have an extremely complicated web of life. 80% of the foliage is dominated by grasses from 40 to 60 different species. The other 20% of the prairie vegetation is composed of over 300 species of the forbs or flowers. This is obviously some of the, looks like a tiger here, a bear here, a wolf here, and it might be a jaguar there or a bobcat. The prairie also has over 100 species of lichens, liverworts, numerous wooden trees and shrubs along protected areas like creeks. The prairie also was home to the diverse assemblage of wildlife such as ocelots and jaguars, black bears, and red wolves, as well as the coyotes, deer, raccoons, birds, beavers, snakes, turtles, frogs, and toads that live there. Coastal prairies developed in one of the Coastal prairies developed into one of the most complicated and diverse ecosystems in the world, surpassed by the rainforest of Brazil. All right, so what we're going to do now is I want to read this one right over here. Well, actually, no. I'm gonna get this. I'm going to go here and then cross that bridge over there. So we're going to go ahead and take a detour over here next. It was good for me to read all these little like messages out here. So it sort of gives you a reason to walk around the park. I'm sort of starting to catch on to that. Because they put everything right here, you're just going to read it and not want to walk. But now you're going to have to walk, and I'm pretty sure if you took that whole long trail, they may have something over there in that brush that you have to read over there too, but that'll probably be for a later time. Sounds like good soil for a garden. Yeah, it's beautiful out here, man. They got volunteers that come out here. I might even do that on my spare time. You know, I might volunteer and, try to, save the butterflies, makes sense. Okay. Now this is fascinating. There is a gate entrance to it. I like that Civil War gate look to it. Did I read this one? I think so, but I don't. No, I don't believe I did. Let's go ahead and read it. Before the arrival of the European settlers, this area was covered with a chest-high tall grass prairie stretching as far as the eye could see. There were few trees except along creeks and rivers. And the open prairie was home to all types of birds and animals. Texas master naturalists are working to restore 20 acres of prairie natural habitat, giving children and other community members opportunity to observe and learn more about the heritage firsthand. Volunteers collect and plant native prairie seeds, carefully replot plants into larger containers, so they'll soon be ready for planting in the prairie. Trained volunteers explain to visitors how native plants are important and natural habitat beneficial to wildlife. nature's answer to drought. Native prairies restorations is attracting a great deal of interest today from farmers and ranchers. There is a growing shortage of water in Texas, and the native plants are drought resistant due to their much longer root system. They do not require fertilizer, and they're good for wildlife. This is a native prairie, and this is the northern harrier right here. So let's go ahead and okay, so right here, which I don't know what this is this another butterfly exhibit? But it says, why are native plants important? Do you know native plants have evolved over many eons of the support local wildlife? Walk through the garden today and see if you can discover new plants for your own garden. Native plants don't need fertilizers or pesticides. Pesticides can contribute to air, water, and soil pollution and are toxic to bees, which we depend on as pollinators. If you can reduce the amount of pesticides you use, you help the earth. Okay. Native plants support wildlife. Native plants support a complete web of life. All kinds of insects eat them, and those insects are in turn eaten by birds and mammals further up the food chain, all in the way hawks, owls, and coyotes. Native plants are well adapted to the soils and climate. Native plants can have evolved here over thousands of years, and they'll well adapt to handle sub-zero temperatures, summer heat, drought, and poor soils. Nature is full of color. How many different colors can you find in the native plant garden? Grasses aren't always green, but can be purple, yellow, or brown. Came back in another season. See how the colors have changed. Okay. Well, at least I have one person I entertain. Shit, better than nothing. You know, I mean, like I said, I'm not anticipating I'm going to change the world. You know, obviously the lettuce in here. I just came from the other one, and look, they got a watchtower out here too. So I'll let you guys see the watchtower in a minute. This is the native plant garden. Welcome to our prairie garden. Monarch butterflies raise their caterpillars and milkweed in the prairie. Unfortunately, their populations have declined sharply in the recent years due to habitat loss and overuse of pesticides. Rudely thwarted hummingbirds migrate through this area in the spring and fall, feed on the nectar produced by the passion flowers and other native prairie plants. And right here, you got the insects. As American bumblebees are important to pollinators and benefit us. You can help to ensure the survival by planting native habitat gardens. Eastern meadowlark find food and shelter amongst the prairie grasses. Okay. Prairie demonstration garden in front of you was designed to showcase native Texas prairie grasses and prairie wildflowers. Flowers, as a special relationship exists between the wildlife and our native prairies. Texas coastal prairies evolved over thousands of years to provide food, shelter, and water for many kinds of birds and other wildlife. They also provide important habitat for bees, butterflies, and other insects, which you all depend on to pollinate our foods and crops and all across the globe. This prairie demonstrates garden is maintained by the Coastal Prairie Chapter of Texas Master Naturalist. Growing gardens that support wildlife benefits our environment is too fun. For more information to plan a native habitat garden as a resident of the landscape or volunteer, please contact the Coastal Prairie Chapter of Texas Master Naturalist Program. And yeah, so I've already read that. Let's go in here. Oh, let's open this real quick. I'm glad to see this view of historical places of interest. Yeah, man. You don't learn this in your school books. Look at this. You got the Gulf Vernon. You got the hairy sunflower. So obviously the sunflower hadn't grown out. They probably just planted these there. Gulf Vernon. You got the Will Bergamot. Some of these plants I never even heard of, man. The little blue stem. Red sage. That's supposed to be red sage right there. And this is butterflies and native host plants. These are all the plants here that, you know, in the sulfur, yellow wind, indigo, passion vine, so these are different types of butterflies. The black swallowtail, the pharaoh crescent, the common black eye, monarch and queen butterfly right there. The skyper, there's the skyper milkweed, frog fruit. Obviously must be the plants they're feeding on, the prairie parsley, yellow window, indigo. Okay, so these right here are what the plants they feed off of. Like this feeds off of that feeds off of this feeds off of that here. Well, I'm assuming probably they both feed off this one. The monarch queen feeds off the milkweed. Skipper feeds off of the little blue stem and other grasses. So these all are very important to different types of butterflies, obviously. So That's fascinating to know, right? You don't learn this in your history books, right? Certified wildlife habitat. Well, I kind of like it. They got the little walkways, pathways here. You can go either way. These are a beautiful plant right here. The Texas coneflower. Look at that one. Right there. This is called the scarlet sage right here. They don't have a sign for that one, but it might be the little blue stiff. Damn, I think that might be it right there. Spiderwoot, but it hasn't grown yet. The black-eyed Susan, rattlesnake master, ironweed, salt marshmallow, wine cup, narrowleaf, mountain mint, Gulf Vernon. Maybe I'm not even pronouncing a lot of these right. Lance leaf, coral spis, American beautyberry. Look at the American beautyberry right here. That's pretty cool, but it hasn't grown out, obviously. Texas lentina, pink promoss, purple love grass. I mean, you got a bunch of different types of Cherokee sage, Indian sea oats, which is right here, that plant. This one right here, this big beautiful one, is called the coral honeysuckle, and it blooms from March to June. And this is pretty fascinating too. So kind of learn a little bit about a lot of these plants, and I think it's pretty fascinating, right? Morning Star Garden, they even under construction. See, it says under construction, the sign right there. Okay, so pocket prairies can be various sizes, from garden size to over an acre. Contains 30 to 50% of grasses and variety of flower types. Helps repair habitat fragmentation. Store carbon ground and CO2 in the air at the rate of lawns and gardens. Can be ameliorate flooding issues and increase biodiversity, whatever that. Help educate and community about the nature. Do you want to build one? See our pocket prairie prompt. And they got them all around Houston too. So it's not just around here. This right here, the native bees. And look, they even give you little pamphlets here. You can take one. I'm gonna take one for butterflies, because obviously I would love. Oh, look, a bee. I grabbed one. Look, holy shit, it could have stung me. Look at that. It got stuck in there. Whoa, could have stung me. Whoa, that little bastard could have stung me right there. See that? Holy shit. Did y'all see this? Whoa, I could have gotten stung just now. Anyways, that motherfucker's mad. Look at him. You can see the butt end of his stinger throbbing. He wants to sting the shit out of me. He is pissed. He is not happy. That's a wasp. I don't know what type of bee that is, but you got the sweet bees, mining bees, carpenter bees, bumblebees, leafcutter bees, mason bees, water dish for bees, bee house. Native bees are usually solitary and won't sting unless squashed or pinched. 70% nest in the ground, 30% nest in dead trees and stems. Need pollen and nectar, water, and nested place to lay eggs. 6 common types of bees. Okay. That motherfucker almost could have stung me. Plant life, yeah. I mean, I'm not a plant expertise, but I'll tell you what, man. I look at this. You can sit here and also have lunch. Sit out here in this nice roof here. That bee could have came out and stung me. I don't know what it was though, what type of bee it is. Obviously, it's still under construction for a lot of these plants here. And there also is the hummingbirds. Well, let's see if there's no bees in here. Hold on. Here's the hummingbirds. You can grab a brochure. You can read about the hummingbirds. Shit. So I like to collect these hummingbirds. And they got the hummingbird garden. That's what they call this one. Hummingbird garden. Look for the ruby-throated hummingbirds during the spring and fall migration, hovering as they feed on the nectar favoring the red tubular flowers, darting from flower to flower or flying sideways, or the backwards, their wings beat in about 53 times per second. Male flashing their iridescent throat as they buzz between blooms. Interesting. This is called Mark's Garden. So obviously, I think whoever made these gardens just like kind of made their own name to it. This is called the Morning Star Garden here. It looks like it's still under construction for that one. This one's still under construction here. What I believe I went here first to this one, so it said recycled water. This is a bench area. You can sit here as well. Let's go ahead and read these two signs real quick. That one's obviously under construction as well. This one says native bee houses. This is a bee house right here, as you can see. Black-faced bumblebees will sting, but the bumblebee has a white spot on the face, will not sting. Well, hopefully that wasn't... What type of bee was that I ran into? That might have been a regular bumblebee. Who lives here? The new bees. Most solitary native bees nest in the dirt, but captivity dwelling bees like the mason bees and leafcutter bees nest in the old plant stems and dead wood. You can give pollinator bees a place to grow. You can buy or build a bee house, learn about the safe materials, and cleaning to keep the bees and their new bees healthy. Use this code to learn more information. You know, I forgot we're going to AI technology, so you got to scan everything now, you know, to do these tours through here. Obviously, there's a bridge over here, so I'm going to cut through that way next, but I'm going to show you another lookout post there. It says here, flowers, fruits, and nuts, berries, and seeds need to pollinate to grow. Solitarily, native bees are even better pollinators than the non-native honeybee and are safer to have near home with no hive or honey to defend. You can attract native bees to your local land, or to your land, I'm sorry, with native flowers and bee nesting places like open dirt, brush piles, old plant stems, or bee houses right here. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys, you know, the bee almost stung the shit. I mean, the bee, when I reached in there to grab it, I felt him like try to crawl up my finger. Oh shit, I shut the thing real quick. That bee's in there, man. I feel bad for whoever has to grab the damn brochures, you know. Let me see what's next. But let's take a look at the overlook real quick, and then we're gonna do a detour through the other side of the park. Like I said, this park is a very unique park. I've been here about a year and a half ago. Now, obviously, over here is where they keep a lot of like their... I want to say this is where they grow a lot of their plants at, because if you look over here, you see a bunch of plants that I'm assuming they're growing them out of the pots here, because they have a bunch of pots back here. And then it says right here, you know, you got to look, a bunch of plants where you can use your soil. Recycle water, do not use. Native plant nursery. And this is where they have a bunch of their plants here. Obviously, you can tell it's sort of like a greenhouse almost, it looks like, where they store a lot of these plants at. And let's go ahead and take a look. It has a map over here, and then I'll read this one. This one, we'll take a look at the outlook, and then we're going to walk all the way back over there, cross that bridge, and start walking towards the back direction of it. Oh shit, there's some more bees over here. Son of a bitch. What kind of bee is that up there? You shall see that? I don't know what kind of bee that is. Well, I ain't going to mess around and find out. I don't know where that bee is. But he flew up there in that tree. There may be a nest up there. But either way, I don't want to find out. Catching the rain. Sloping roof directs the rainwater down to the gutter. Collecting gutters funnels the water down in the collection tank. Piping the collection tank. Durable. The PVC piping leads to collection tank. Collection tank encloses the tank screens, debris, and falls mosquitoes breeding into the sand and water. And then underground piping directs the water in the irrigation system. So that's just, you know, about the water there. Well, that's fascinating. No, I read it real fast because, like I said, I didn't know where that bee came from. There might be a bee's nest in there. And I've been stung by bees before, and it's not pretty. I've been stung by hornets. I've been stung by wasps. I've been stung by yellow jackets. It's not fun. Okay, so now we're at the wetlands. Wetlands are important. Wetlands are shallow water sites that are area importance for wildlife. You got the Roseate skimmer, Roseate spoonbill, great blue heron, the raccoon, and the red-eared slider. Look at the picture of the raccoon. I used to have a raccoon as a pet, believe it or not, till one of the wild dogs came and tore him apart, and we had to kill him. Unfortunately, take him out. And anyways, this 4-acre wetland is one of Seabourne Creek's most significant habitats and provides food for the wildlife from all around the park, tiny insects, and small animals like beetles, dragonflies, snails, marine worms, and crawfish are food sources for birds and large animals. Frogs, turtles, water snakes, raccoons, deers, and other mammals also use these wetlands for food and shelter. Adequate plants growing in shallow water and moist soil provides hiding places and nesting sites for ducks and other water birds. Wetlands also provide important services to us, including flood protection, water purification, and recharge to aquifers that we depend on for our water supply. This is where the park's inhabitants gather every day. Stay a while and relax. Listen and look around you. What can you see and hear? So red-eared slider. So it looks like a big giant turtle, right? And that's the red-eared slider. I'm proud of the master effort of the nursery people staff. Yeah, absolutely. The black-faced bumblebees will stay. Oh, yeah, I read that. Still have the scar from black-faced bumblebee from 19... Oh, shit. Here's a raccoon, a great blue heron, the rosquete spoonbill, kind of looks like a purple flamingo, and the rosquete skimmer, which are very cute animals. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the outpost. I am going to read one more sign over there that I missed, and then from there I'm probably going to go this way and travel that way so I can read the signs there, because I realize that this park has signs, and if you miss the signs, you miss a significant part of your experience. So it's just people are walking past this area and not reading the signs. I, however, am, because I want to learn about, the history of this place and, about the mammals or insects or anything that's inhabited here. You got the red mulberry, which is called Morus rubia. I don't know if that's the tree or if that's the flower. So I don't know. But, it actually might be the berries off this tree. Look. I want you guys to see this. Watch this. See these berries? There's berries on this tree, but I don't know if you can eat them for consumption. But there's berries on this tree. It looks kind of like grapes, but not really grapes. But it's got stickers on the end of them. Oh, shit. But, one time, like a dumbass when I was a kid, I was grabbing the little, those little acorns that come off the tree, but they're not acorns. They let little green, like, fruit things. And I was grabbing them and rubbing them on my hands. And I rubbed that motherfucker in my eye, and I started crying like a motherfucker for 2 days straight. I was about 8 years old, goddammit. If you see those green, like, they look like little berries off those trees, but they're not food or anything like that. But if you rub them and you rub your eyes with them, it's going to hurt and sting. So I recommend you not to do that. Make sure you wash your hands if you grab one of those things, and wash your hands, because anything that gets in your eyes from some of the things you touch out here might, come back to get you. Who's ever the second person watching, thank you for watching. I had 7 people in here earlier, obviously, and they're not watching now, so. It's beautiful, isn't she? Obviously somebody's driving up here now, so I'm going to go ahead and read the next one, and then from there we'll take a walk through the other side and go from there. Yeah, they do have brochures. Yeah, they have brochures and stuff, so you can read about the hummingbirds and all that stuff. I probably got like 5 different brochures in my pocket, and they're free, of course. You can grab one. You can actually grab one at the very beginning of the walk, and it shows you the whole layout of all the areas you're walking to. And so you have the opportunity to kind of look around and stuff. Yeah, that's where they have like that's the other area where they're doing the planning and stuff. I think right now they're in the process of doing all that right now. I'm going to read this sign real quick, and then we're going to turn around. So I don't want to miss a sign. It's sort of like, it gives you like a scavenger hunt feel to this place. And when I was here the last time, I read some of them, but I didn't read all of them. And I realized that now. I'm like, holy shit, I'm missing out on so much. Obviously, they have something they're putting here, because it looks like it's kind of fenced off, but with plants. So they're obviously putting something there. I don't know if it's a tree or whatever, but let's go ahead and read into it and see what it is. Okay, the amazing tree. So there's a tree. I predicted it. Beyond this panel, you'll see a small stand of trees, which well planted to form a living fence. These are an Osage orange trees, native Texas trees with a long and fascinating history. Early Texas pioneers planted Osage orange as a living fences to corral their livestock and protect their gardens out of the prairie. With dense limbs and sharp thorns, Osage orange hedges were reputed to be horse-high, bull-strong, and pig tight when kept well pruned. In fact, these live-in fences most likely inspired the invention of barbed wire in the 1880s. Native Americans crafted their bows from Osage orange wood, which they treasured for its strength and resilience. In historical times, French fur trappers traded horses and blankets for Osage orange boughs, and the tree eventually became known as the Bois d'Arc tree, the bowwood tree, a name still used today. Legendary Texas cattleman Charles Goodnight, 1836 to 1929. Here's his picture. Sometimes called hedge apples, Osage orange trees have huge, strange-shaped fruits which horses love to eat. So horses eat these things right here. So, yeah, absolutely, Dizzle Tree, absolutely. Like, you would have never known a horse eats this, and I've just learned this just now. So you're constantly learning about Mother Nature. You're constantly learning new things every day, and it's very important that you're constantly learning in life, because if you don't, your brain is as good as dead. That's how dementia starts. That's how you start losing brain cells. So it's very important to try to obtain as much information as you can, because as the years go by, you may not be able to get any of that information back. The chuck wagon was invented by Charles Goodnight, which is this gentleman here. Here's another picture of him right here when he was probably younger, of course. That's a picture of him right there. This picture of him when he was older. Chuck wagon was invented by Charles Goodnight and built of the season's Bois d'Arc wood so that it could accompany his cowboys on their rug cattle drives across the Panhandle Plains. And here's a fun fact for those of you watching. Osage orange wood is immune to termites and repels cockroaches. A yellowish brown dye was once extracted from the root and used in coral khaki army uniforms. It's the preferred wood for making harps and has been used to reinforce concrete. So that's a fun fact to know about these little critters right here, right? The Osage orange trees. And in fact, we got treated wood in our foundation company, treated moisture protected, chemically treated lumber wood to keep the termites away from eating the wood. Because what happens is, if you have a home, right? So if you have a house, especially like here in South Texas, and you got a bunch of wood underneath, the termites travel underneath, because most termites, which they call turpentine termites, or basically they travel from the ground. They look like army ants, but they're really big. They're like 2-3 times the size of regular ants. So you'll see them. They travel upward, and what they do is they're blind by nature because they're basically underneath the ground. So they stay blind for their whole lives. When they travel from underneath the ground up, they travel by the sense of the smell of wood. So when they smell the wood, they travel up the blocks underneath your house. If you're under a block, if you live in a block home, right, like out in the country, and they travel up those blocks. And then if you don't have termite shims there, which are these metal aluminum things they put underneath between the beam of the house and in between the blocks, if you don't have that there, those termites will travel upward. They'll start eating and chipping at the wood, and of course that rots the wood out, and eventually it eats through the wood, damages the wood underneath your support, your support beams, your floor joists, even part of the wood that goes underneath, that's underneath the actual flooring of your house. That's your foundation. It can destroy it. So that's why it's important that you have to get chemically treated lumber wood, so that way it keeps those termites from traveling upward. You do have the flying termites too. They travel up from the top of your house and they get inside your roof. That's where a lot of people get termites in their sheetrock inside of the wall, behind the wall paneling. They get a lot of termites that come from the roof. Those are your flying termites. Though your subterranean termites are the ones that are blind, that travel underneath. The ones that are flying, like big, like ants, like flying ants, they travel through your roof and they can start eating up wood inside of there. So that's why it's very good that you got to spray inside of your attic every now and then to keep those termites from going in there and thus causing problems, causing a ruckus. You don't have those issues with termites. So you have to constantly spray, chemically treat it. That's why you get the Terminex guy there and they start spraying. Some of these people never get it done, and those termites just completely devour that house up. And I've seen that before too. So sometimes you got to get a Terminex guy, especially if you got a termite problem, get that Terminex guy in there and spray all that down. And then therefore, then you can address the problems of whatever your house needs to be done. Maybe there may be some sheetrocking issues, after that, depending on how much wood those termites went through, sometimes you could punch a hole through your wall and there'll be termites flying all out of it. It could be years, decades of how many accumulated there over time. I like these bird watchers they got here. I want you guys to see this. Watch this. Orange osage is not edible. People use them to put fruits in their house to keep the spiders out. Nature has its own beauty, absolutely. See, there goes a bird. They got bird watchers all around here. This is the eastern redbud. We're constantly finding new species every day. And there's constantly species that are on the endangered species list that get extinct. Like every day, over 150 species are extinct every day. So they try to preserve as much as they can. The Seabourne Prairie entrance is right here. Hopefully I didn't pass up any more of these signs. It gives you a scavenger hunt feel, you know what I mean? So this takes you towards the front of the Seabourne Lake is right over here. And the trails take you over here. I don't know if there's any signs over there, but if not, it's no big deal. But this is something you could take your family out to. And, the bird watching over there. So if you were just tuning in, Dizzle Fred, I know you didn't come in at the very beginning, you'll be able to see the lake. You'll be able to see the butterfly little exhibit over there. You'll be able to see where I saw the bird watching areas over there. Like I said, looks like, oh yeah, and also if you're lucky, sometimes you'll see an American bald eagle. Sometimes we will see that. When I was at Cullinan Park yesterday walking, I saw the American bald eagle yesterday. So sometimes there's a nest in the area. According to Texas law, you're supposed to be within 500 feet of a nesting, but if you don't know where the nest is, they kind of let you waive it. But if you're hunting, however, if it's hunting season, you own property, and there's American bald eagles, even if the nest is not on your property, and let's say it's on the adjacent property, somebody owns property that's next to you, and there's American bald eagle nest, you have to stay within 500 feet of that damn nest. Because why? American bald eagles are on the endangered species list. And so, if you get caught by a game warden, your ass is grass. They can take your firearm away. All that stuff, man. You could be facing felony charges, especially if you own an American bald eagle feather. People like to collect feathers, which that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But be careful. If it's American bald eagle feather, you can be charged with killing an American bald eagle. And that's you definitely don't want to see yourself getting in that sort of predicament there. Yes, and the game warden, here's a fun fact to tell you about game wardens. Game wardens are the only officer, if you want to call them officer, cop, whatever you want to call them. A game warden is he's the only person with a jurisdiction that doesn't have to have a search warrant to search your property if he believes you are harvesting endangered species or endangered animals. So for example, if somebody said, hey, this guy's hunting alligator out of season and he's killing them and rounding them up, the game warden can act on those witnesses, and he has probable cause to search your home, and you have to let him in. And you have to let him in and search that house for animals. Now, they usually don't go off hearsay, but let's say if it builds up for a while, he technically doesn't have to have a warrant to search your property. Especially if you own property. You own 12 acres here, 14 acres there, 6 acres here, and you use it for hunting. Yeah, absolutely. He can search your property he can search your property on the suspicion that you're harvesting either endangered species or you're hunting out of season, or you killed an American bald eagle and you're harvesting his feathers somewhere. He can search the property. Oh yeah. He doesn't have to have a warrant either. And that's pretty fun fact about the game warden. But anyways, let me go ahead and read. The Seabourne Natural Creek provides excellent natural habitats for Texas' most beautiful birds. The eastern bluebird. Come join us in the Bluebird Trail today. This is the male eastern bluebird. Very beautiful animal there. How many acres is that place? I saw an eagle fly over to Sherwood, Arkansas. Ever heard it screech? The eagle is a symbol of America. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it used to be the symbol of America. Still is, technically. This acres right here, I think it's 164 acres. If I'm correct, 164. If you tour the whole thing around, the whole thing, I mean, you look about 170 acres, give or take. I think it says 164 on the appraisal district. I looked it up the other day. But yeah, you got birds in the bird's nest in there somewhere. You hear them? Let's see. It said the bluebird populations were once in decline due to urbanization and competition from introduced cavity nesting birds such as the house sparrows and starlings. However, these beautiful birds have made a strong comeback in recent years thanks to the sustained effort of countless volunteers with nest in box construction and the establishment of bluebird trails nationwide. Bluebirds have a habit of constantly fitting down to the grass to snatch up an insect from the favorite perch, such as the low tree or nest box. Returning to the very same perch, they'll repeat this behavior dozens of times for a real joy to watch. Again, I appreciate the second person on watching. I don't know who you are, but appreciate it. Did you know during the breeding season, male bluebirds can be so jealous of the rival males that they sometimes attack widows, thinking that their reflection is in the glass is in another handsome bird? Now, if you guys, have you ever sat inside your room before and a bird will fly and hit the damn window and you're wondering why that bird's doing that? Because these birds, they see their reflection and they think it's another bird. And so they go to attack the bird, and it's really themselves the whole time. So they hit that window, and sometimes they'll break their neck. They'll fly right into it and go boom and hit the window and break their neck. You know, that's fascinating. Here goes. Let's go ahead and read this. It says the female eastern bluebird. All right. Here goes. Lyndall Dillon. In Texas, the bluebird's nesting season begins in February and ends in June. Known as nesting baby bluebirds stay in the nest for about 2 weeks until fully fledged. Eastern bluebirds and found east of the Rockies to the Gulf states. So I don't know if this says summer for breeding. So this is where they breed in the summertime, right up here. These bluebirds, it's year round. Where I don't know if that's where they travel or wherever they stay. And the winter is for non-breeding. So this is where they're in western Texas, and of course in southern New Mexico part. So this is where their breeding ground is. And I'm assuming when the winter hits, I don't know if they fly up here, and then I don't know exactly how that works, but that's pretty fascinating there. Now, what I've learned about birds is very fascinating. Here's the fascinating thing about birds people don't know about. Now, if you look at the female bird and you see that she's kind of like dimness in the top, right? Like these colors right here are very dim. A little brightness on the butt end, but it's very dim and kind of like a very not as colorful, let's say, as the male. You go and you look at the male right here, see the male's a lot colorful here and here, especially towards the top of the center of the head. There's a reason for that, right? So everybody says, why is that? Well, the way that Mother Nature designed for the species to carry on, right? Because you got the red-tailed hawk, you got coyotes, you got other feral hogs, all these these predators that go and they hunt for these types of animals, that are more prey. So the way that Mother Nature designed it is they designed the male birds to actually be more colorful towards the top. The cardinal, the blue jay, the hummingbirds, the eastern bluebird, and many other types of birds, So they're colorful so that when the red-tailed hawks spot them out from the sky, and the red-tailed hawks look down, they look at their eyes coordinate towards the most colorful birds, which are the male birds. So the red-tailed hawk will go down and attack the male bird, kill the male bird, right? And the female bird will be able to live, hatch eggs on, and continue its species. So that's the way that Mother Nature designed it, is that the predators will go after the male birds when they see that the male birds are more colorful. It's interesting how fascinating that Mother Nature is and how they design it to where their species continue on, sort of like Mother Nature acting on her own. So see, you got the native plant garden here, the prairie restoration. I showed you that bird sanctuary, wetlands loop. We covered all that. So now we're going to go down this way. Got more bird watchers here. We're going to see exactly where this takes us. I don't really know if there's going to be any more signs over here. So this could be just a waste of a 20-30 minute walk, but I'm just going to go ahead and take it anyways, play it on the safe side, and see what's down there. I know there's the Seabourne Lake over there. I'll probably let you guys see that on my, before the video ends or whatever. But I remember I took one of my ex-girlfriends out here, and she really liked it, man. She said this is a really fun place. Nobody ever told me about this place. And I was like, yeah. And I took my best friend out here. My cousin and her husband, which I'm really good friends with. He's the one that's trying to help me get this job as a jailer. And we went out here, and I took them out here, and they loved the place. They didn't even know about it, and they live off of Reading Road, literally. Didn't even know about it. I said, yeah. I said, how'd you know about this place? It's like a hidden pocket. I said, no, I just type up nature parks near me, and dozens of them pop up. And sometimes, yeah, you have to look a little harder. Sometimes, like I think I was running a lead with my dad over here in Sealy, and so we stopped at the gas station up here, and I saw this park when we went and passed it up. And I was like, hey, Dad, let's go check out that park real quick. And so I went and wrote it down, and then the next day I went and came and saw it. I went and toured out here. So like this gives me, an opportunity to get away from the house and, take my mind off of stress. Because stress sucks, right? And whenever you're stressed out, the last thing you want to do is you want to, be in a small cubicle being stressed out all day. So I said, I'd rather get out, get some exercise, get an opportunity to go to these nature parks, So this is kind of fun, fun and exciting. When I went to Dallas, I was there for 13 days in 2022 from October 12th to the 25th when I was still working at Walmart. Took a vacation there, and then I went. All I did was nature park hiking. That's all I did. I went to the Texas Civil War Museum, which is on my YouTube channel. You guys can check that out. If Dizzy Fred, if you want to check that out, you can Texas Civil War Museum. I went there in 2022. I also went to the Vietnam Veterans Museum in Mineral Wells, Texas. And the fun fact, a lot of the pilots were trained there when they were sending the troops and equipment and all types of stuff to Vietnam, the Vietnam War, the 12-year war in Vietnam. I think it started in 66? I think it ended in somewhere like 78, something like that. And so, a lot of the pilots were trained in Mineral Wells, Texas. A lot of people don't know that. But they donate all types of ships and, not ships, but like, Army tanks and, vehicles and all types of cool stuff. They donate like uniforms and knives and, from the music they listened to the rations they had and, like what their bunks look like and all types of cool stuff, man. So it was pretty fascinating, man. You got to learn about, some fascinating facts about the Vietnam War. In fact, they talked about how they were capturing these POWs, right, of Texas soldiers and some nurses that they had captured. And if you were a POW and the Vietnamese caught you, they would just they would stick you in a hay house and they would burn you alive inside of those hay houses. And it must have been or if you were a traitor, for example, if they thought you were working with the Americans, they would burn you inside of a hay house alive. And that was I learned that when I was walking through the museum and they were giving me a tour through it. And that right there kind of scared me a little. I was like, wow, that's pretty fascinating. Not fascinating, but I didn't know that, about that. Shows you the times, when it's times of war and stuff like that, that sometimes humans can be very ugly on every side. I'm not saying the United States is perfect, but, damn well not. We probably start most of the wars that all these wars that pop up is probably, we have our hands in on it in some way, shape, or form, at least from the political side of it, our politician side of it. But, you get to learn about all the ugly side, the dark side of war, and, of course, some bright spots, too. You get to learn about bright spots of the wars, too. Like I said, the Texas Civil War Museum, which I'm in the Texas Civil War, by the way, it teaches you about the Texas involvement. They had like a little projector. You pay $6 to watch the projector. I sat in there. Everybody in there was like 70 and up. I was the youngest guy in there. They just looked at me like I was weird. They're like, you're into this kind of stuff? I'm like, hell yeah. So we just sat up there and watched the projector all day. It was on for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. So we just sat there and watched about, because they said we don't expect young people to be all in the Civil War. I said, well, you missed one right here, because that's what I like. I like the Civil War. So yeah, absolutely. Man, I tell you, more bird watchers down here. I have a feeling that's the highway right there, but I'm not exactly sure if that's the highway or not. But there looks like a spaceship or something out there. I don't know what that is. It's interesting. I don't know if that's a spaceship or something over there. It's right over there, straight ahead. So I'm gonna walk over there real quick and check that out. It's like a rocket ship or something. See, last time I was here, I didn't tour all this area. I missed a whole bunch of spots, man. I don't even know if that's considered part of the property, but obviously there's some sort of rocket ship or something over there. I'm literally looking dead at it. I'll walk out in the pasture and take a look real quick. That I've never seen before, but look how freaking far the walk is, man. Damn. I mean, obviously you walk out there, there's like a school or something out there. I don't know what that is, but that looks like a rocket of some sort. I'm gonna try to get a little closer look, see what it is. Better not be no military damn thing, man, where they tell you no trespassing. I feel like I'm on a field at Gettysburg and I'm marching with a cannon fire flying and I'm a rocket. You know, I have my rifle ready, you know. It takes like, you shoot 3 shots in 1 minute or something like that. You have to reload, you know. Double quick time march, you know. I feel like that's what I'm doing right now. Just walking into cannon fire. My favorite battles in Civil War, Shiloh, Gettysburg, Antietam. Are probably some of my favorites. What was it? Fort Sumter. Fredericksburg. Battle of Murfreesboro. You guys see that? Look. This I've never seen. This looks like a road. And past this road, because see, I don't know if this is the property or private property. That's why I don't know if I want to walk into it necessarily, but I'll probably get a little closer look. But as you can see, it looks like I'm walking along some type of ship or something. I'll walk a little bit closer into it. Oh, look, the crawfish. God damn, it's so damn far walking into this. You know, why the Lord must punish me with all these damn steps I have to take, man. Let's see. I'm walking up to it. When I was in 2nd grade, our class went and saw the space capsule and astronauts Gordon Cooper. Oh, you lucky. There's a small museum in Logan, Arkansas, Civil War stuff. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate you for subscribing. Like I said, sometimes my videos get a little edgy. But now I have to be careful because I'm applying for government jobs, so I have to kind of be on silence for a little bit. And then all my controversial political videos are going to go on another channel, you know. So that's why I had to start putting a lot of my videos to private. So you're not going to see a lot of my political videos. I played a couple of them, but further back in the archives, a couple here or there. And as I get hired, I'll probably, you know. What the hell is that? And why the fuck am I walking all the way out here to go see this? I just want to see it, just to say that I did it. I saw it out in the middle of nowhere out here. But I don't know if this is private property. I don't think I'll get in trouble. They'll probably just give me a warning if they see me. Because it's across from the park. See, the park's on the other side of that street. So I don't know if this is private property. There was no sign. I'm just going to tell them I didn't see it. I didn't see a sign out here that said private property. So, yeah. Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy and all its wonders. The only thing about these grassy areas is snakes, man. So I wasn't thinking about that till just now. Like, I'm going to walk out here where there's possibly snakes at. We're going to take a look and see what this baby is right here. This is the first time I'm seeing this. Okay, it gets a little muddy right here, so bear with me. Thank God it hadn't rained lately. Scariest movie of all time, hands down, Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, 1981. One of the scariest movies I've ever seen in my life. What the hell is this? I think I've never seen anything like this. What is this? It's fenced off. Obviously, it must be. Look at it walking in the damn mud. Ain't this some shit, man? My dress shoes. God damn it. They'll punish me for this, man. But like the idiot I am, I'm always curious to see what's out here. It's got a stairwell, obviously, inside of it. So the stairwell leads to something. Let's go see the opening. If there's an opening to this, I think there's one over here. Give me a minute. Oh, man, I'm obsessed with stuff like this, man. I would get lost in these woods if I could. Probably gonna need some, God damn it. I can't see it, but obviously it's a stairwell of some sort that takes you up to the top. I don't know if this is supposed to be a playground or whatever. I mean, if it is, why the hell would you have it all the way on the other side of the park? I mean, look how far I walked out here to come see this. You know? Look at that. It's got a stairwell. It looks like a little lighthouse, right? And you can sit all the way up there. But what is it for? What is it? Binoculars? You need binoculars to watch over the horizon? I don't know. But obviously, like I said, if the truck comes up, I'm just going to say, hey, I didn't know it was private property. So I apologize. Don't write me a ticket, officer. You know, I'll sweet talk my way out of it. One thing I'm good at is my charm. And like my aunt always told me when I first entered in as a used car salesman, she said, if you're going to lie, be good at it. So with that being said, one thing I'm good at is lying. That's why you have to be a salesman. You have to be good at lying. If you're not a good liar, I wouldn't advise you to get in the field of selling, because part of selling is selling a story. And sometimes it's all bullshit. Most of these car salesmen, what they call snake oil salesmen, used car salesmen, whatever, or let's say you're selling bootleg alarm systems, knocking door to door, you're selling foundation, you're selling construction. Most of those guys just lie through the teeth to get you to sign the paperwork. That's all it really is. And they'll just tell you anything you want to hear to get you to do the job. I mean, that's kind of like how life is in general. People just tell you a story and a dance and a song, and they get you to join along. And a lot of times they're just trolling or lying, all types of shit. And, you know, that sort of ordeal. So, you know, that's just the natural human nature. But if you're in sales, if you have to work on commission and you're selling, you're going to lie your ass off. Because the reason why is because, I've explained it, I'll say it, won't say it again, is that the reason why people lie is because society punishes you when you tell them the truth. So now people have to lie to you to get extract resources. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. You know, you still have to be honest probably about 95% of the time, but there's always some white lies always told about everybody. And you find out in life as you get to know people and stuff, some of the things they say weren't true or were overly exaggerated. But you know, at the end of the day, people are selling themselves. People tend to overvalue themselves a lot, worth more than what they actually are. And then, you know, that's sort of how the cookie meets the cutter. Sometimes you have to tell a good story to sell. Marvin says in Facebook Live. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's how it is. You know how many times I catch salesmen lying to me all the time when they're trying to sell me shit? I just don't say anything because I know it's part of the job. So I respect it because I know I did it. I did that shit. You know, so I'm like, I can't really knock them for it because I did the same thing. You know, that's part of selling, is to tell a story. You're selling yourself. You know, especially when you sell a product, customers, the way it works is they don't really care about the product per se. They care about the person who's selling the product. So even if the product's good and the customer has a lot of knowledge about the product, they're going to look at the guy who's selling, and if the guy can't sell it, they may read the wrong vibes. They're like, I don't really trust this guy, or I'm not comfortable with him or her, you know, and I don't want to do business with you. That's how it is. So sometimes a part of the business life, you have to look people in the eyes. You got to shake their hands firmly. You have to make sure that you establish some sort of communication, so then that way they'll take you seriously, you know. And the biggest mistake salesmen make is they'll look at the ground and they look nervous and they're like fumbling their words. I'm like, dude, you're never gonna be able to sell a product doing that, because essentially you have to sell yourself. If you can't sell yourself, how are you gonna sell the product? No one's gonna take you seriously, or they may even buy it more expensive from somebody else who will tell them what they want to hear and what they need to hear. You know, they can tell if you don't have confidence. When I was first in the business of selling foundation, I was nervous as shit, man. And I was getting people turning me down left and right. Finally, I had to start learning how to develop my skills in communication and start learning how to communicate with people before I can actually learn the art of selling. And once, you know, you get the product knowledge of whatever it is you're selling, it helps with your confidence a lot. When you start learning about your product knowledge, sometimes they'll ask you trick questions about certain products to see if they can catch you. They see if they can catch you lying. And so sometimes it's necessary for them to do that, because they try to test you. Like they'll try to throw a curveball at you, and the more product knowledge you know, you can be able to swindle it back, turn it around on them, and make them feel like the asshole. Then they'll turn around and say, oh, okay, You know, I was just testing you there. Yeah, I know you're testing me. You know, or they'll try to test you in another area that's not even pertaining to your job. Like if you made up a story, they'll try to ask a question about it to see if you really lie, if you really did that or whatever. And you'll have them throw curveballs at you. So, like I said, that's the ability to have to be able to talk to people, man. Some of the best liars in the world are car salesmen, absolutely. Them motherfuckers lie through the skin of their teeth. I know, I used to sell cars, used cars. I used to work at Goodyear, trust me, I know, you know. Used car salesmen are the biggest liars in the world, bro. Oh, facts. Absolutely, you know why? Because most of the used cars they get, they know are full. They know they're rundown shit shacks, but they get constant pressure from their higher ups saying you have to sell. So they just said, well, fuck it then. I guess the only way I can sell is to lie to you about this car. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't buy used cars much unless I buy it from somebody who I personally know. But even then, if I buy a car, it's going to be most likely brand new. Most likely. Because again, they don't tell you everything that's wrong with the damn thing. You get the Carfax report, you read it, and then all of a sudden when you get the car, they're like, oh, well, it worked last week. Why is it breaking down now? Well, it worked last week. It must have been something you did. And besides, you didn't read the contract there. The contract says buy as is, which is true. Which a lot of times they don't want to give you warranty. They don't want to give you warranty for used cars because they already know there's problems, but they already know you're going to bring it back. And it says it. You buy the car as is. A lot of people don't realize that. You buy it as you see it. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much the... Oh, look, ducks. Rocket may be a bird sanctuary. Oh, really? Opinions are good or bad. There has to be signs of warning of trespassing. Yeah, I didn't see it. Look, ducks. Man, damn it, I wish I had my bread here. We're coming up on ducks right now, guys. They're swimming up right now. Damn it, I wish I had bread on me. Look, the birds are coming. Look, they're all coming to me. Look. These are white ones here. Beautiful gray on the top with duck beaks there. Look. Oh, these ducks will get close to you. As long as you're peaceful, the birds sense you, they'll come to you. And if you feed them, sometimes they're so tame, they'll eat the damn thing out of your hand. Or they'll maybe get in a couple feet from you. Like I've seen them come maybe right here. As you throw bread out, I just don't have any bread to feed them. But I'll come out here next time. I like the turquoise color one there with the turquoise blue on the top and the black. And then, of course, the nice white ducks over there. Oh, you should see these ducks during mating season. They'll start fighting. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And the female ducks are a lot bigger than the male ones, believe it or not. So you'll see like a giant duck out of nowhere. And you're like, damn, he's big. It's like, no, that's actually the female. The female ducks are a lot bigger than the male ducks. Usually, typically, most of the time. Look at the ducks. And look, there's the red beak one over there. That most likely might be the female one, the mother, but do you hear them? Yeah, I'm gonna start feeding these little fuckers, man, when I get some bread. Now we got another sign over here to read. So see, that's why I like this little scavenger hunt here. So you can read all these little signs of the ducks. They probably think I have bread. I feel so bad now. I'm gonna go get some. I'll probably come out here like tomorrow maybe and check it out. Okay, this is called the willow oak. Useful, a hardwood tree used for furniture, cabinetry, interior trim, flooring, and veneer. Easy to grow, grows best in the wet and well-drained soils in the sunlight to shade, adaptable to clay soils, tolerant and urban pollution. Has the fibrous root system and transplant wells. This is wildlife, a high-value wildlife tree, consistent, abundant acorns, provide food for many birds, e.g. waterflow, blue jays, and woodpeckers, deer, fox, squirrels, and other rodents. Hosts several hairstreak and dusky-wing butterfly species. This is handsome, excellent shade tree with a rounded shape, 50 feet wide and 80 feet tall. Willow-like fine texture leaves are long, narrow, and undivided, unlike other oaks. They are bright green in summer and turn yellow and russet in fall. Cool fact, starting producing acorns at 15 years old. The wood is also used for pulp and paper production. Well, obviously this tree's in the process of growing right now, as you can see. It's growing. I think the ducks think I'm feeding them. I feed the ducks by my house. Obviously they got another plant growing right there. They got a bench area you can sit over here. This is called Seabourne Lake, by the way. Seabourne Creek. You can golf out here, obviously. So yeah, all the additions here I like. I probably passed up a couple other signs too, but that's okay. That's no big deal. Goal is just to get some. Okay, and they got a wooded area out here too. So let's see what tree this is right here. Swans protecting their hidden eggs. Really? A drummond red maple. Obviously that hadn't grown out yet. A lot of signs over here, but miniature ones. The eastern cottonwood, which would be this tree right here. Imposing, this large, delicious tree with ancient-looking bark is known for its abundance of wind-borne cottony seeds. Water-loving eastern cottonwoods are a dominant feature along lowland riverbanks and streams. The sight of cottonwood distance was a sure sign of water to early settlers. Safe home because of their size, the eastern cottonwood provides food and shelter to animals, insects, including birds, butterflies, mammals, and certain larvae. Sun or shade, although short-lived, this fast-growing tree turns out beautiful yellow in fall and can adapt in varieties of soil. Fun fact, borrowing from the Spanish word from cottonwood, the Mission San Antonio de Valero is commonly known as the Alamo because of the presence of nearby cottonwoods. Interesting. This one is called the water oak. Water oaks are one of the most short-lived oak species with typically lifespan of 30 to 50 years. This one right here. Provides nest inhabitant for various of birds, including woodpeckers and flycatchers. Like all oaks, water oak is the host of many native insects, which are a very important protein source for our native birds. Useful water oaks are used for lumber, plywood, and fuel wood, as well as ornament shade trees. Adapts, prefers wet areas, but can grow in a wide variety of soil and commonly invades old fields, like full sun or partial shade. Large, reach the heights of 90 feet or more with dense crown. Trunks can be 3 feet in diameter, valuable common along waterways and adjacent lowlands. Water oaks provide vital wildlife benefits to wetland ecosystems. This is a tree right here. 30 to 50 year lifespan. All right. Like I said, there's so much to read out here, dude. God damn, I could be out here for 4 hours. Shit. And that's the wood area right there. It takes you out in the back of the woods, man. This is another plant right here. Let's see what this one is. It's called the American Sweet Gum. And this is when it's fully, it says safely or stately. The urban settings, this large forest tree reaches heights up to 100 feet. The trunk may be 3 or 4 feet in diameter, and the wild may have been known as 130 feet tall. Habitat prefers rich river bottom areas, swamps, and spaces for flood. Frequently thrive in fertile, moist woods and coastal plains. Fall color, delicious, deciduous, providing lovely fall color even without exposure to cold temperatures. Large star-shaped levels can be shades of yellow, orange, red, pink, or dark purple. Wildlife, round spike fruit remain throughout the winters. The seeds provide food for 25 species of birds, squirrels, and chipmunks. Thirsty, prefer sun or light shade. Soils, cold tolerant, and needs ample water in the urban setting. Cool fact, small strips of the bark can be peeled back to expose the resin that was used as a primitive form of bubble gum. Interesting. All right, here goes a look here. I hope I'm not boring you two people watching this, but, you know, sorry. How can you be a nature hero? Did you know all kinds of wildlife rely on Seabourne Lake for food, water, shelter to survive? How many kinds of wildlife can you see? Can you imagine those you can't see? Fish and turtles swimming in the lake. So this is basically about the plant life, avoiding the ducks and other wildlife. If ducks and the other wildlife eats people's food, they become dependent on us and unable to find their own food. I did not know that. Wow. So they say here not to feed the ducks. You can golf out here, it says. Another tree here. American sycamore. Massive. The American sycamore is considered the largest deciduous tree in North America. It can reach as high as 150 feet. Native range found in the rich bottomlands near the streams or riverbanks of eastern Texas. Cold tolerant, fast growing. They thrive on full sun and moisture soils. Bark. As a tree ages, the outer husk slows away, exposing a smooth, light inner bark. This makes a tree an attractive choice for parks and yards. Useful. The hard, moderate, strong wood is used for bolster blocks, rolling pins, tobacco boxes, and crates. Wildlife is known for its button ball tree from the spherical 1.5 inches fruits that remain until early spring. The seeds for a variety of birds and small mammals. Cool fact, hollow bases of the aging tree can be used enough for black bears to use as shelter. This is tree right here. We got a tree right here. God damn, so many trees, man. This is called the green ash tree. Green ash right here. Fall colors, beautiful tree, goes 70 feet in height, bearing graceful yellow-green, graceful dishes, leaf sets forming a dense oval to pyramidal shape canopy, bearing flat blade-like wing seeds that are distributed when in fall, the most widespread in North America. It says it's tolerant to soil conditions too. It is the fastest growing ash species and excellent shade tree. It says here, cool fact, green ash provides food for caterpillars in the eastern tiger, swallowtail, two-tailed tiger, swallowtail, tiger swallowtail, orange sulfur, cloudless giant sulfur, and morning cloak butterflies. It goes back there. There's like a little forest back there, so you can also sit along here too on this bench and watch the waterfall at night. So like I said, there's many signs down here on this side and in here. Probably not going to read every one of them, but there are trees along here, and I'll be sitting here all day reading them. This one's called the American elm. I'm just going to read the cool facts about it. It says it provides covering and nesting sites, easy to grow, requires full sun or partial shade. Cool fact, one of the most popular trees in America, the elm was nearly wiped out in the early 1900s due to Dutch elm disease. It now thrives again in the open. It said it loves water, also known as the water elm. This tree is found throughout Texas in the fertile soils and stream beds and riverbanks. They grow up to 60 to 70 feet. 60 to 100 feet, I'm sorry. Here's another beautiful one right here. Just going to try to skim through it. This is called the Monozium cypress. Right here. So the Monozium cypress is a magically evergreen tree reaching of 80 feet. Unlike the native bald cypress, it rarely produces root protrusions known as knees. It says the Monozium cypress usually grows near water sources. It can grow in... Okay, it says the Aztecs used the Monozium cypress resin to treat ulcers, gout, and toothache. It's used for medicine right here, this tree. It says it right here. The Aztecs used it for gout, ulcers, and toothache. It says the Monozium cypress is a nesting site for many animal species, and seeds are devoured in small animals, especially rabbits. Cool fact, the Monozium cypress is the national tree of Mexico. So anybody from Mexico, this is your national tree. This is it right here. Fun fact. So see, I learned something new by reading some of these. Maybe it was good I didn't like skim over it, right? And my phone's at 27%. So what I'm probably going to do is I have maybe about 20 more minutes, you know, to kind of go around and read some of these trees. I'm going to skim through them and try to read through them quickly. That way I can, you know, because I'll be just sitting here all day doing it. You know what I mean? I don't want to say I'll be sitting here all day, but you know what I mean. All right, this is called the black willow. The black willow tree right here, fast growing, living average of 65 years. Black willows reach 60 feet or more. The rounded canopy rises over multiple trunks that may spread as much as 3 feet in width. Loves water, erosion control. The fibrosus roots serve as a binder. Easy to grow, requires full sun or partial shade. Wildlife, early spring leaves attract many bees and insects that are food for birds. In winter, mammals graze the bark, a host plant for multiple butterflies and moths. Cool fact, the bark contains salicin, an ingredient in aspirin, and used to treat headaches by native cultures and early settlers. This tree right here. This is your early aspirin right here. They would basically take the roots from the tree and chop it. They would basically use the roots for modern medicine, like an aspirin for headaches. This is in early times. Here's your tree right here, your aspirin tree. So that's another cool fact. You know, many people still use roots as urban medicine. They don't believe in taking this modern medicine crap. You know? Let's go ahead and keep going. Let's see what this beauty is right here. It's the last one on this trail, I think. This is called the river birch. Unique. River birch are admired for their sandy silver bark that peels to reveal a cinnamon brown trunk benefit. Graceful multi-trunk with a crown of dropping branches can reach to 90 feet in height. Its wildlife seeds provide a food for a variety of wildlife water flow used for covering and nesting. Fast growing, it can grow up to 2 feet per year in moist, fertile, well-drained locations with full sun and moderate shade. Cool fact, river birches produce copious amounts of sap in early spring. Native Americans collected and boiled the sap to make a sweeter, similar to maple syrup. Well, obviously this tree's not fully grown out yet, but you can kind of get the hint. Okay, maple syrup. Got some more up here. Eastern Bacterius, I don't know what that is, a plant right there, but I have nothing to read. And let's go ahead and go down here. Let's see, it's down here. This is called the white oak. Sentinel. White oaks can live for centuries, growing up to 100 feet in height, and long, heavy limbs and dense foliage providing shade and shelter. Fall color. Here's with showy fall leaf colors featuring deep reds to burgundy. This magical tree is favorite due to its long lifespan, colorful display, and strong wood. Wildlife. White oak severs as a larval host for Edward's hare stake butterfly. Its acorns are favored by deer, squirrels, and birds. Historic, tall, long-lived, durable trees with many historical use, including colonial shipbuilding, flooring, lumber, and provisions of food and medicine for indigenous people. Cool fact, white oak wood is used to make wine and whiskey barrel staves to provide watertight barrels. See how Mother Nature's so beautiful? Cattails provide food in their roots as starch, and cattails itself can be used as fire starter, and I did not know that. Wow. You know they have a coffee bean where cats eat it and they shit it out, and people actually eat that shit? I had a lady at Starbucks tell me that. I'm like, are you serious? She's like, yeah, there's like a coffee bean where cats actually eat it, and then they shit it out, and it does something, their digestive system does something with the bean, and it makes it like more, I don't know if it tastes better, quality, I don't know what it is, but obviously people eat it. Carolina Lottery treasured. Lottery trees, which is this tree right here, is known as a cherry laurels, are appreciated by commercial landscapers and homeowners alike for beauty and benefits for local wildlife. Evergreen tree and large shrubs that has shiny dark green leaves, red twigs, berries, and spring blooms for a year-round interest. Landscape beauty. The laurel cherry can be used as a specimen tree or a tall hedge. This tree has shallow, non-aggressive root systems that allowed homeowners to plant closer to structures. Wildlife. Birds love the dry berries, and spring blooms attract native bees. Cool fact, when crushed, the leaves smell like almond or Macherio cheese. However, the leaves and bark are toxic to humans and browsing livestock. All right, there's something over here that I didn't read. I mean, there's some, look, they have an actual little decking you can sit on over here. Roots of starch. Maybe I should build a tree house. Okay, this over here is just the other side of that lake. So I don't know exactly. I'm gonna probably cut across here then, because I'd already went to the lake and toured around there. So we're gonna go this way now. We're gonna walk through here. Obviously, they're growing some more plants over here. You can see little sticks in the ground. Don't have the signs up yet, so we don't know the identity of these plants yet over here, but we'll know some more over here, these trees. Alrighty. Yeah, they got a wooded area over here. I'm gonna take that next, and then probably by then wrap it up. My phone's at 23%. I probably, if I'm lucky, maybe got 20 minutes left, if I'm lucky. Let's see, live oak. It's a live oak tree here. Prize, live oaks are loved for shade, beauty, and environmental benefits, better air quality, and wildlife support. Long tree, a large tree up to 50 feet tall with a wide spreading canopy. Evergreen, leaves stay for the most part, for the most of the year, but some shed in the spring. Wildlife provides food, shelter, and nesting sites for many animals, including birds, squirrels, and butterflies. Easy to grow, requires full sun, well-drained soil, and regular water and healthy growth. Cool fact, live oaks were used in the 18th century to make ribs and planking of tall sailing ships such as the USS Constitution, Old Ironsides, the oldest commissioned warship in the world still afloat. Interesting. You learn fun facts about Mother Nature in her finest. And this park right here gives you a lot of hidden clues. It's pretty cool, man. So it kind of gives you like a scavenger hunt feel to it. I said this earlier. Here's another tree here, but this one obviously hasn't grown yet. And I think there's one more sign over there. This is called the Shummered Oak. They are farmed for their vivid display of brilliant red and red-orange leaves in the fall and winter. You can grow up to 80 feet tall, 40 to 50 feet wide. Developed a large open and rounded canopy. Unlike some other oak species, the Shummered oak branches do not grow towards the ground. Shummered provides food for the caterpillars and numerous butterfly species. It says here, its acorns are also part of the popular food source for birds and mammals. Tolerant, prefers moisture-rich soil, but are grown drier locations. Endures urban conditions quite well. Cool fact, this species was named for Benjamin Franklin Shummered, 1820-1869, a former state geologist of Texas. I feel like I can walk all around this motherfucker, man. Live featured tree species of the Arboretum has 5, it's all Spanish here. Live oak. Live oaks are the oldest native trees in North America. Oak supports more live forms of any other tree species. Live oaks can grow as tall as 80 feet, and their branches can spread as much as 120 feet. Fun fact, live oaks were used to build seafaring ships in colonial times, U.S. Constitution. Yeah, we talked about that. So that's basically just an overview, I guess, of what was learned there. So like I said, they got many trees here growing, but unidentified yet. Trees here, for example, you don't know exactly what. But a person can see plenty of stars at a location at night. I have a plum tree growing I planted 4 years ago. Cool, man. That's pretty nice. We have gardens in the backyard too. We grow plants and stuff, but we even grow our own vegetables too. So that's pretty cool, right? Growing our own vegetables. All right, I'm at 22%, so I'm keeping an eye on my phone, because once it hits to like, 10%, I'll probably wrap it up, and then I'll go charge it in my car. So I got a car charger in there anyway. So I didn't anticipate it was going to be this long of a video. I really didn't. I thought I was just going to be just a quick walkthrough, read a couple signs, get done. Easy Japanese. This is full of mud right here. But this is called a bur oak tree. I'm just going to try to read the cool fact. No, I can walk here. That's fine. It says, cool fact, acorns are a major protein source for wildlife and can be roasted and grounded into flour. Provides shade, food, shelter, and nesting for small mammals, birds, butterflies. It grows up to 100 to 150 feet wide. Large, delicious tree known for its wide trunk and large mossy capped acorns found near the springs and open prairies. Hardwood used for lumber and cross ties. What I'm gonna do now is they got a little wooded area walk back there, so I'm gonna take a detour through there. Let's go ahead and walk this way. I'm gonna cut through. It's kind of like a shortcut, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway. Of course, there's more tree information over there, so I'm gonna try to read as much as I can before I have to cut this video off. Once it gets to like 8%, I'm gonna have to cut it dead. I gotta save some of it and then charge it in my car charger. I got a car charger, thank God. And to be able to charge it, and it's fast charging too, so I can fast charge it in my car and just head home. And then, be done for the day. I'm off for the rest of the day. So, I went to this interview. Hopefully it goes well. I think the interview went well. Hopefully I made an indelible impression on the interviewers and enough for them to hire me. That's always good, right? For them to hire me and then go from there. It's a lot of stuff you got to learn, though. Oh my God, you got to learn the towers. You got to learn how many floors there are, all that stuff, where everything's at. The infirmary, the visitation center. You got to learn where the single cells are, the main, where there's 4-man cells, how many people in every unit can be stored. You got to learn those numbers, man. But it's not something I don't think I can't do. It's just something I got to study. And with repetition comes remembrance. This is the nut-tail oak tree here. Cool fact, the large acorns of the nut-tail oak are loved by ducks. Sounds boring. And this one over here, let's go look at it. The mulberry. Mulberry trees are prized for their blackberry-like delicious fruits, which are used for pies and jams. Oh, interesting. I like this one. Grows up to 60 feet tall and almost as wide. The Texas native red mulberry has leaves with downy hairs underneath. I think that's what I saw earlier. Remember those berries? Most mulberry trees in this area are hybrid red and imported white, which are hairless leaves. Mulberries are favorite snack for many birds and cedar waxwings, tangers, and orioles. Many mammals, not just humans, love them too. Easy to grow. Cool fact, indigenous people use the native mulberry trees for many medicine purposes, including treating ringworms, dysentery as a laxative. The soft but durable wood was used by settlers for fence posts and farm implements. Now they do have an entrance back here. I think it's this one right here, and it takes you to like the little wooded area. I think I read most of them already. So I'm just going to take you through the backwoods area here, and then from there we'll probably most likely wrap it up. It'll take me back towards the entrance. If you guys want to watch the beginning of the video, you're more than likely, if you missed the butterfly exhibit and all that, that's pretty cool. Like I said, I may do another video in about a month when I come here. That way it gives a chance for, these people to plant all these, plants in and all that stuff, watch it to grow out, and the sun will be out more. You'll see everything blossom more, right? That more of an Amazon look. So everything will be fully grown. Because I forgot, it's still kind of winter a little bit. Still trying to get over the cold fronts and heavy rain. So, oh, okay. Well, this is the back trail right here. And this is like a little wooded area. Maybe it'd be nice if they planted stuff out here. I don't know. It's probably not going to do that. But I'm just walking the back trail here, and this should probably take me back towards the entrance. Like I said, this is something you want to take your family out to, friends out to. If you just want to go by yourself and just get a good enjoy the outdoors. This is the fun park to go to. Nature, and I don't just like going to any park. I'm really picky about it. It has to be something that actually has meaning to it, that gives me an adventure. I'm not going to just some regular park. We got a track around there and a couple of swing sets. Absolutely not. I wouldn't even waste my time. If I'm going to go to a park, I'm going to go to one that actually has meaning. There's a lake, a huge lake to walk around, or there's I usually like to go to one that says nature park, because that means that there's a lot of things to see in nature. They probably have a bird watching area. They probably have a wooded area you can walk through. if it ain't something like that, I'm probably not going to be interested in just going to a typical park with a racetrack around it where it says 1 mile across. Like, nah, man. You know, I like to keep my, I like to make it fun, because everybody hates exercise and shit. I hate it as much as the next person. But if I'm going to exercise, make it fun, right? You want to make your exercise fun. And so the best way to do that is to what? Is to, you know, go to these parks that are exciting. This one gives you a scavenger hunt feel. You have to go around and read all these signs. You got to walk to them, obviously. So you can't just pass anything up. And I thought they were going to have some plants back here with some stuff to read on, but I guess not. And there is more stuff to read. I haven't gotten through everything, you know. But you learned a lot today from a lot of these signs. I mean, I could probably take another hour reading through some of this stuff, but my phone, unfortunately, is not going to allow me to do so. So I'm at 18% right now. So yeah, that phone is going to die. If I'm lucky, you know, maybe 15 minutes, you know, maybe 15, 20 minutes before it dies. But like I said, I'm on 2 hours and 30 minutes. So I could probably go 3 hours maybe, but I'm not going to do that because I'm already towards the end anyway. So probably another 5 minutes, I'll wrap it up. But I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm definitely going to start penciling in more of these nature walks. I want to go to this one park. It's called Jesse H. Jones Park. I've been there before. I got videos of that. They got the Homestead Trail, and it's only open 4 hours out of the week because they got like a little cabin back there that's been built for like 200 years ago. They did some additions to it, but it's like a 200-year-old cabin, and they only allow visitors between the hours of 1 and 5 on Wednesdays. I don't know why. It's weird, but it gets me all hyped up about wanting to go there. This is my job, doesn't let me out till 3, and because of that, I only have like 2 hours to spend there, not including the hour it's going to take me to get there. You know, so somehow I don't know if it's worth making that drive unless somehow I get off maybe an hour early to work and then I just go there. But then again, you're only there for 2 hours. Why rush just for all that? You know. But you know, we'll see. We'll see as the days go. You know, we'll see. Oh, I'm telling you, man, my head's kind of, it's not killing me, but I haven't eaten today because, you know, I had the interview. I thought I was going to take a piss test, so I had a lot to drink, like coffee and water, and then they didn't even piss test me. So that's supposed to be when you go to take your mental evaluation and your polygraph test. Yeah. All right. Yeah, they are growing plants back here. About time. 1, 2, 3. They don't have an identity on them yet. But when they do, I'll be back here to read them. That'll have to be for, if I probably come out here again, I probably might just, you know, show like the actual like growth of a lot of these places out here. And, you know, probably read through the signs that I didn't read through. Probably be like a catch up, you know, on that. But I'm enjoying this. I saw Abraham Lincoln's birthplace in 1963. No shit. That's pretty cool. A raw wilderness with meaning of history and relics is worth it. Yeah. Seeing you walk 3 miles. I couldn't keep up. Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful out here, man. And I like woods where they're kind of enclosed. You can't see the highway. You can't see nothing. Out in the middle of the woods, man. I like that kind of feel to it. Yeah, I'd probably work maybe about 3 to 4 miles, give or take. Maybe. Yeah, by the time I had to stop, read every, about 3 miles. Sound about right. And trust me, my endurance is all, I have to start catching up on that. And the summer is the best time to get these steps in and start, you know, getting out here. I got to start getting in better shape. And I need to start taking my health seriously, man, like really seriously. Because I haven't messing around, man. You know, especially like when you have to work, you have to make money. It's like, you know, it requires that you have to be able to move around a lot of these places, man. So if you're in bad shape, it's kind of like you're behind the 8 ball, you know. And I don't want to be like some, you know, I weigh like maybe about 230, But I don't want to be like some 400-pound guy that's stuck in a damn seat, man, somewhere. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to, not to offend anyone. I don't want to get to that point. You know what I mean? So I got to start taking my health seriously and, you know, making sure that I live a healthy life. As you get older, man, it really starts messing with you, you know? It does. You know, especially if you're used to eating a certain way or drinking a certain way or living a certain lifestyle. Sometimes your old habits, it's hard to get off of it, man. You know, it's like an addict with drugs. Same thing, but only with food. Sometimes you're so used to living your life a certain way, you're used to eating things and, you know, doing things a certain way. It's kind of hard to break that habit when you've been doing it for so long. It's really hard. And after a while, you throw in the towel and say, fuck it. You know, and then, but that's how that vicious cycle comes. You know, that's how that deep, like you fall deep into that hole and you feel like you can't get out. So you just give up. And sometimes you've got a reminder that you got to keep going. You got to keep fighting, you know. Well, I tell you, I got some Diet Dr. Pepper in the car. Diet Dr. Pepper Zero. I got some 2 of them bad boys in there waiting for me, man. So I get to the damn car, I'm about to have some of those. I had some popcorn, but I don't have a damn microwave to heat them up. So, you know, try to figure it out somehow. Lockbox. Well, I'm telling you, I'm tired. I think I've had enough for today. Enough walking around, enough of this, man. I'm tired. I mean, actually, coming towards the front of the information center, I grabbed a bunch of brochures from there. I'm going to have those brochures. When I get home, I'll go ahead and go through it. I'm tired. I had a good day today. Interview went well. And, I went walking here, did the video, and go from there, man. You know, all well. Keeps the blood flowing and keeps the mind sharp. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. It's got to get that walk in. And I got a bunch of steps in. Let me see how many steps I got in. I'm down to 7%, guys. So I'm about to have to wrap this up. I am now at, let me see. Let me see how many steps I'm at. 10,500. All right, guys. Well, I'm at 7%. I appreciate you for watching this video. There's the restrooms to start off. And the funnest thing, like the thing that's so unique about this place is unlike most parks, well, most parks do have an information center, but this one has an information center. And then when you walk into the entry point, what I like about this in particular is that it says Seabourne Creek Nature Park, and you have a little entrance in there, and you got brochures that you can grab up there. You can keep a copy, they're free. And of course they got the little free library where you can take a book if you want. And yeah, my phone officially died, and yeah, I apologize for that, but yeah, my phone died. I have it on the car charger now, so obviously it's gonna last. But yeah, I'm gonna have to end this video here, and I appreciate you guys for taking the time to watch this. And yeah, there'll be many more parks that I will be, going over as the days go on. So you guys take care, man. Y'all be safe and take care.